Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants Podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. I'm Ben. I'm here with TJ. And as always, Scotty, the sober noble. We have a lot to go over today. Don't we, TJ?
No.
No? Okay, we're done. Good night.
Good night, Detroit. Sabotage the show right out of the fucking gate. We got nothing.
What a jerk.
I think the first thing we're supposed to talk about is just Bustin' Jeeber.
Who's Bustin' Jeeber?
That's Justin Bieber's alter ego.
Bustin' Jeeber. Yeah,
Actually, that was the origin of that is that I used to do reviews, I kind of still do, of like teen girl magazines because they're the most insipid fluff ever. Penetrating
teen girls.
Yeah,
yes.
And one of those featured a tweet from some boy band at the time that tweeted something to Justin Bieber where they called him Bustin' Jeeber, and they were all like, "Oh, isn't that funny?"
It's all in good fun. We're rivals, huh?
He spoonerized Justin Bieber, just like all you girls want to spoon Justin Bieber. Or eat him with a spoon.
Bustin' Jeeber sing like infant or something instead of baby? He sings infant.
Infant, 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 hey!
Just last week we made a video about how Justin Bieber still sucks and he throws eggs like a girl. And
we don't know though. We never saw him throw eggs.
I know.
Allegedly.
But I'm saying like we never saw him throw like a girl.
I know.
And also, like some girls are pretty good at throwing. You know,
I just wanted to pick a provocative title.
It's a pretty sexist title, if you ask me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because like I can't throw for shit, and I'm a guy, so.
So you throw like a girl
and catching too.
Yeah, and anything involving coordination.
Anything involving coordination.
Besides jerking off, I guess, right?
Does that take coordination?
That does. How much coordination does that really take?
Yeah.
I don't know, TJ. You're probably pretty skillful with that.
So what we're going to do, it seems like it's like a weekly thing, almost like the cop shooting segments that we do, that we're going to have to do a fucking Justin Bieber segment here until he gets deported or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's a few clips from the news about Justin Bieber.
This is actually a news conference. They're talking to what? Is this a sheriff or just?
I think he's the ranking official police officer on the matter.
Okay.
All right. So
let's listen to this cop yammer on about Justin Bieber.
I know, Mr. Bieber.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Bieber.
That's funny. Oh, we'll listen to that.
And upon approaching the car, when he opened up the window and confronted Mr. Bieber.
Mr. Bieber.
Beverage.
Pause it. Mr. Bieber.
Mr. Beaver.
Okay, like who looks at don't just look at the picture of Justin Bieber right there, and just like what mentality would you have to look at that and be like, Mr.
You know, if he was on some harder drugs than the drugs that this guy's about to mention that he was on, I could understand how big the smile would be. But this big of smile is not justified.
He's probably still fucked up with this picture.
A lot of people have been saying.
Care.
A lot of people have been saying like, oh, he's probably just like smiling because he thinks it's funny and he just like gets away with everything. I thought maybe he was smiling just because he figures like this photo is definitely gonna leak. So
of course it is.
I might as well smile because if you look at the profile pic, he's not smiling in that one. He's only smiling in the head-on one. In the other one, he looks pretty damn sullen.
Well, famous people do a lot of photo shoots. He's just probably just so practiced to like smile when the picture is being taken of you.
Yeah, like his automatic smile. Like, I'm Justin Bieber. Hi, I'm Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. Autograph time.
Mr. Bieber at that point was not cooperating with the officer's instructions. The officer asked him to exit the vehicle. He was questioning why he was being stopped. Ultimately, he eventually did step out of the vehicle, would not follow the officer's instructions. The officer at that time did place Mr. Bieber under arrest for resisting without violence, for not following his instructions. He felt at that time that Mr. Bieber may have been impaired He was brought to the Miami Beach Police Station where a DUI investigation was conducted.
By the way, there was a bit of a misunderstanding online about what DUI stood for.
Oh yeah, there was a hilarious gaggle of people on Twitter, mostly Justin Bieber fans, who are not typically the brightest or most experienced group of people.
I'm shocked you would make that statement. AJ.
I'm shocked at
I
myself
demand
for making
an
that
immediate
statement.
retraction.
But anyway, here's some. I'm just going to read the tweets to you. What is a DUI? And then another person responds, drinking under the influence. Drinking under the influence.
Drinking under the influence by...
He's just doing what most teenagers are doing,
diving
drinking
under the
and
influence.
smoking under the influence.
He was diving.
People are going crazy over my timeline, yet no idea what DUI is. It's drinking under the influence, such as alcohol and drugs.
What's even more strange is that there's this tool called Google, and you could search for these things.
No, they don't know about that.
Yeah, they can use Twitter, but they have no idea how to just put DUI. You take your keyboard or your phone and go to Google and type in DUI, then search, and then read the first result that comes up to explain to you what it stands for and what it actually means.
I just
Whatever,
love
Scotty,
what
it's drinking under the
what
influence,
reality are
okay?
these people living in where it's like, I'm drunk, better not drink, because then they'll get me for drinking under the influence. I mean, what? What kind of bizarre alternate reality are these people occupying?
It was determined that he was impaired. During the investigation, Mr. Bieber made statements that he had consumed some alcohol and that he had been smoking marijuana and consumed some prescription medication.
I would think that with the kind of money Justin Bieber has, he'd be able to afford a lawyer that would have told him to never admit such things when you're pulled over by a police officer. But evidently, he is that fucking stupid.
I mean, when they say Justin Bieber was impaired, my question is how could anyone tell? Because I mean, Justin Bieber pretty much always acts impaired.
Yeah, he's always making really bad decisions, so it's this doesn't really seem out of character.
Justin was impaired.
Honestly, though, when you're that famous, when you have that kind of money, you should not say a word to the police until your lawyer is there with you. You don't have to.
I think he was just so fucked up, he just did not care. He was just like, oh yeah, I'm fucked up, whatever.
Unless he just has this
Well,
superiority
look,
complex. where he's like,
everything-
I'm drunk and I'm on weed.
Everything in that story kind of reeks of this person who has this belief that they're invincible and above things, because you could kind of tell by the statements Justin was making to the cop that he really assumed a position of authority over this cop, where it was what are you doing? Why are you touching me? What's going on here?
He's currently here at the station. He's going to be transported to Miami-Dade County Corrections. Once he was here at the station, he was very cooperative. We did not have any issues with him. And, he will be arrested. The charges are going to be DUI. He also has a no valid driver's license out of the state of Georgia, and the resisting arrest without violence charge.
I don't even believe in resisting arrest without violence. I mean, that seems silly.
Was he you're going to have to carry me to the police car or something like that?
I think he just pulled away from the cop when he started.
Yeah, when the cop grabbed his arm, he pulled it away, which just seems like a pretty natural reaction to someone grabbing your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to understand how the police act and they the way they present themselves. The minute it was this punk thinks you can treat us like shit. That's why they took him in. I mean, the DUI he would have got booked regardless, but I mean all the other charges was just because he's an asshole.
And I guess they're not charging him with anything related to the drag racing, because when he listed those formal list of charges, I didn't hear anything about that.
Is there an online campaign to deport him, though?
Yeah, there is. There's especially big on Reddit and Twitter, and probably 4chan, I'd imagine, but I haven't checked.
I don't really like Justin Bieber. I don't really know if he deserves to be deported, though, but I do think...
Well, I don't know if he deserves to be deported necessarily on the merit of this, but I mean, basically, I've read a story about how anyone else in his position who didn't have his position of wealth and privilege would probably be deported in similar circumstances.
Oh, absolutely. You or I would have been deported.
Yeah, if I went to Canada and I was drag racing and drunk and smoking weed and taking prescription pills that weren't prescribed to me.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
not even
fucking
the
cursed
point.
out the cop,
Yeah.
and I resisted arrest.
You would be at the border.
Yeah, like,
within
you're
hours.
going back to America, motherfucker, and you never come back here again.
Well, after you did your time,
Yeah,
actually.
after you
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? Actually, the penalty for drinking and driving in Canada is way worse than most states in the U.S.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a felony up there. That's why they won't let you in if you have a DUI from the United States and try to go to Canada. They would say you've committed what we consider a felonious crime, and we'll not let you
Unless you're an amazing actress like Paris Hilton.
in. Yeah. They let her in after her DUI because she was up there filming Repo: The Genetic Opera.
So, if not for them bending that rule, we wouldn't have that masterpiece of cinema.
Well, that's what they call the exceptional talent visa.
Exceptional talent visa.
Exceptional talent in Paris Hilton should never
I think
be on
TJ
the
could
same
actually
document.
get that if he wanted to go to Norway, because TJ's fan base is pretty large in Norway, like per capita.
Yeah.
That's your one place you could go to. Just go to Sweden or Norway, and you'll just.
It's because I'm blonde.
There's one more video here. It's from another CNN show, and I'll play it here, and we can comment. And I don't even know what these people's names are, honestly.
This is,
What's her name?
I don't know.
Actually, I think she is Canadian because she mentions it in this clip. I'll just play it.
Let's
here.
play the clip.
Got in my hands the actual police report. And here's the hard part. I want to be able to read this for you, but it is so filled with expletives that I'm going to have to do some edit fly. Okay.
Oh no, not expletives.
And when you listen to it, she really didn't have a hard time with it at all.
No, like, I'm going to have
They
a
said
hard
bad
time.
words.
There was naughty and bawdy language in this statement. Who would think that a drunken teenager being arrested by the police would curse?
Not I.
Okay, so I'm going to edit on the fly because the police officer who responded said that it is just rife with F-bombs. Part of it is, why did you stop me? Why the F are you doing this? What the F did I do? I ain't got no effing weapons. Why the F? I think that's supposed to be, what the F are you doing? Wait, I think we just got the mugshot in of Justin Bieber at the Miami. Well, I wouldn't be smiling if I were you.
Yeah, that's the picture we're looking at, is Justin Bieber's mugshot.
Yeah.
The smiley face of Justin Bieber. I got arrested! Yay!
Yeah. He's like the prom queen.
Yeah, of the Peony's little tiara.
Yeah. They're going to put the tiara on him.
Justin Bieber.
He probably gets his own cell. He gets special treatment
Probably.
in jail because, like, he's famous.
Yeah.
Special anal treatment.
Young Justin Drew Bieber, because a mugshot is nothing to be proud of. Maybe it gives you street cred in the music world, but he could be facing a world record, couldn't he, over this?
He could, but look, if you're his defense attorney, there's a couple of
Where the fuck do they dig these anchors up?
Yeah, street cred and Justin
She has
Bieber
some
are two
serious
terms
street
that should not be
cred
used
now.
together.
Maybe this gives Justin Bieber street cred with his posse of hooligans.
Yeah, they piss in mop buckets in the basements of restaurants.
They're hardcore.
They,
Don't fuck with
we
them.
the wild kids, yo.
They're even tougher than the juggalos.
We the wild kids, yo.
They're gonna come into a restaurant and not pay the tab. Oh, they're crazy.
Wow,
things we're going to
kids!
hone in on. First of all, let's examine the charges. And if you examine the charges, a DUI, driving under the influence, is a misdemeanor offense. In addition
Wait a minute.
to the reckless
Pause
driving,
it.
which could also be
I thought that stood for drinking under the influence.
Oh, yeah.
This guy doesn't know shit.
Is it drinking while you're under the influence of alcohol or drinking under the influence of something else?
Drinking while drunk.
Drinking while drunk?
That's morally wrong. It's like, if you're already drunk, why are you still drinking? Come on now.
be construed as a misdemeanor
That should be
offense. And
against
so
the law.
why that's relevant, actually, is you look at his exposure. What could he face ultimately? And, of course, a misdemeanor is a world different from a felony charge, because when you get into felony charges, then you examine his Canadian status, and you would, on that basis, get into deportation.
Yeah,
He's not
let's
facing
remind
that.
everybody
we
that
should
he's
be-
one of my fellow Canadians.
Yeah, and they should-
However, he has not gone the route that I went, which is becoming a United States citizen. He told
You know what? She said root, which makes me totally believe that she's Canadian. He has gone the route that I
Which
have.
route did he go, eh?
Yeah, route.
Root. I say root.
I say route.
I can do both.
You're not a fucking American, TJ.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
I have to be questioning your Americanism right now.
Want some poutine, TJ?
Yeah.
Some maple syrup?
With extra bean curd.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone
Yeah,
magazine, no intention ever to become a United States citizen.
When I said...
All right, so yeah,
So what you take from this story is Justin Bieber is dead.
pretty much for the most part.
So is he out on bail yet?
You know what? I haven't even checked.
I'm
yet.
assuming yes.
I'm sure.
Well, he's got the money for it. It depends on whether or not he's gone in front of a
Dude,
judge yet, because
they
the
should-
judge would set the bail.
They should deport Justin Bieber to Australia, like especially one of those areas with those dangerous animals.
What is this, like the 1800s or something? Like Australia's a prison colony or something?
No, it's just so dangerous. There's like so many things that could kill him. Just drop him in the outback and like all charges are dropped if you make it back.
Okay.
And that's it.
What if he does come back?
Yeah.
Then we just shoot him in the head.
No, then it's like, damn, we can't believe you actually fucking survived.
Yeah, that is pretty insane. I don't know. I don't. I think he should probably just go to jail or maybe do community service. I know I'm probably taking it easy on him, but you know,
I mean, nothing's bad's gonna happen to him. Let's just be realistic.
he's got the money
Yeah.
to hire the lawyer, and
he can fight this until the end of time.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're just gonna make a settlement. He's probably just like he said. He'll probably do like 30 days in jail, which will be suspended after like a day or two.
But TJ, the
I
question
think-
is this the end of him here? Like the end that you predicted? It came a little late.
No, this isn't the end. We still have the bad boy phase to look forward to.
Yeah, this isn't the bad boy.
No.
phase?
This is the press bad boy phase. I'm talking about the musical bad boy phase.
Oh, I think he's washed up.
No,
music.
he's gonna put out an album where he's like more edgy and hardcore, and it's gonna be terrible, and no one will like it.
Okay.
Not even his fans, and then he'll be gone. It'll be like the Vanilla Ice thing. Like, do you remember when Vanilla Ice tried to become a gangster rapper to save his career?
Yeah, I remember
It
that.
did
and then
not work.
he
Spoiler
thought,
alert.
that he was in Korn after that. Do you remember that? He
Yeah.
had like dreadlocks and shit. Yeah, that was lame.
I remember it.
The next story we
You
have.
got a problem? Yo, I solve it. Check out the hook from my DJ Revolting.
The next story we have is apparently the new mayor of New York City is under fire because he didn't plow the wealthiest neighborhoods of the city.
Oh.
He only plowed the middle class and lower income parts of the city, according to what other people are saying.
Let's see.
Yeah, so I'll put them up on the screen here.
Woo!
When I said I would take dead aim at the tail of two cities, I meant it.
He's only been in office for a few weeks, but New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is already catching heat for his tale of two cities. Or rather, the tale of plowing two cities.
With all due respect to anyone who wants to play out a theory here, it's just not accurate.
Some New Yorkers who live in Manhattan's affluent Upper East Side say their neighborhood was among the last to be plowed during Tuesday's snowstorm.
Give it to that Del Blasio, not plowing up here.
I've never seen anything like this in 64 years living in the city.
Many vented their frustration on social media, some even accusing de Blasio of purposefully giving them the cold shoulder. Maybe it's a traffic study, de Blasio getting back at us by not plowing Upper East Side. The city's plow tracking app indicates the lack of snow plowing activity on the Upper East Side Tuesday. One city official says a plow in the neighborhood didn't have a working GPS, so its progress was not reflected on the website. But angry residents aren't buying the excuse.
It doesn't make any sense to me. You just look outside and say there's something wrong. You don't need a GPS to tell you that.
1,700 plows out overnight, but this is still what it looked like Wednesday morning. Vehicles stuck, pedestrians falling, messy streets everywhere. A stark contrast to this, crystal clear roads on Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn.
So, basically, this guy's in trouble for plowing the rich areas, like, last?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are they, like, accusing him of classism in the direction that it doesn't normally go in America?
Yeah.
I believe that's what they're doing.
Because, I mean, like, pretty much anywhere else you go, like, the rich peoples get the plow first.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, like, I don't really see too much complaining about that, so I don't really give a fuck when the roles are reversed.
Yeah, and they could pay to plow it themselves if they wanted to.
Yeah, and this guy's got a black family, so...
Talk about a scandal over nothing. They just, like, you can tell they just don't like it.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why they're attacking him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he has a black family, you know. I think they're saying, well, he's favoring these lower income people.
Well, also they were happy because Bloomberg was the mayor of New York for so long, and even though it's so like liberal, he's like a Republican and a billionaire.
Yeah.
So I mean, now it's kind of a reversal of fortune. You have someone who's like about the exact opposite, in political office there. So obviously, he's playing to his base. Like, hey, these are the people who voted for me. I'll take care of them, not the people that I'm sure did not vote for him.
Yeah, let them rich fucks shovel their own damn roads.
Yeah. Or pay someone to do it.
Yeah, be job creators. You always say you're good at that.
Yeah, they're job creators. They should do that.
Create some fucking jobs, people.
Fuck you, rich people.
Yeah. So
suffer inconvenience.
TJ, you are now rich. Oh, fuck that. Reverse that statement. Fuck.
Yeah, well, if I'm rich, that's different.
Fucking proletariat's always trying to keep me down.
If I get rich, then I'll just be like, fuck you, you fucking peasant scum. Be ironic if this show got me rich.
It would be ironic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, moving on to the next one we have here. Apparently, Chris Christie is drawing larger and larger numbers of Hispanic support amidst the scandals that he's been experiencing here. We have the story pulled up here. And,
yeah. As his critics grew louder on the right and left, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is drawing support from an unlikely source. Hispanic leaders across the political spectrum, including some that typically favor Democrats, are giving the Republican governor the benefit of the doubt, as even now new details emerge of an abuse of power scandal. They have warmed to Christie in part because of his aggressive courtship of minority voters throughout his first 4 years in office and his promise to do more as his second term begins. I think they're just like, you have big cojones. That's what I think.
Well,
that's my... bringing it down to, like, just a sound bite.
The first thing I got out of it was Hispanic is such a broad term. I mean, you have basically anyone in this part of the world that speaks Spanish could qualify as Hispanic. So it's not just Mexicans or Guatemalans or people from Central America or South America. It's also, many of the islands in the Caribbean. So Hispanics, it just sounds like such a generalization. Who is it exactly that's supporting him more?
It's people who just, like, admire his balls. That's really what it boils down to.
Dude, it's just it's a sound bite because it'll get people's attention. Like, Hispanics, what's that? Yeah, a bunch of people support him. That's what they mean.
I forgot to put up the awesome picture of him, too, that I found. I'm going to have to do that. God damn it, TJ.
That was a transitional burp.
All right. Here he is. This is the picture I found.
See? It fits.
It does look like something he would do in his real life, so I believe it. And it's a jelly fucking donut, too. It doesn't even have like a regular donut. It's a fucking jelly-filled donut.
Yeah.
Is that a jelly donut or is that a cookie?
It looks like a donut.
Oh, yeah. I would say donut.
Okay.
Definitely.
And it's filled with jelly and, like, cream, probably.
I wonder if his suit... Because I always see him wearing a suit. I wonder if his, like, suit pants have an elastic band.
They must.
On
them. Just days before an apparent case of political retribution by his office was exposed this month, Christie signed a new law guaranteeing in-state college tuition rates to New Jersey immigrants in the country illegally, winning national praise from Hispanic officials. The gesture may alienate some conservatives in the next presidential election should he seek the White House, but it helps cement Christie's status as one of the Hispanic community's more popular Republicans. So, I mean, basically, this is just a case of like, quid pro quo.
Yeah, political maneuver.
This is like one of the few Republicans that's done jack shit for Hispanic voters, so they're just like, you know what, he may have done this bridge shit, but we don't really care.
Yeah, and they are the growing minority, someday majority of the United States.
I mean, really, it's pretty important for the Republican Party to make inroads there because,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, demographically, they'll be fucked if they don't.
Yes, and for years they were working to deport the grandparents of a lot of Hispanics in the United States. The people who are now adults, their parents and grandparents, may or may not have legal status, many of them, and it rubbed them the wrong way that Republicans wanted to deport these people. And I think I remember the day after the last presidential election, the very fucking day, I was listening to Sean Hannity, and for the first time in years of listening to Sean Hannity, he was like, you know what? I think we need to rethink immigration reform. And I was like, wow, for as stupid as Sean Hannity seems, he's actually pretty smart because he actually realized that was the reason that his people lost so bad. So
maybe he's not really a retard. Maybe he just plays one on TV.
yeah. Oh yeah, he is definitely a troll in his own way. Him and Glenn Beck and a lot of those guys are definitely trolls. They invented the game. So
that makes me want to see a rap song with them, like where Glenn Beck is like, "I invented the game."
Yeah,
Glenn Beck versus Sean Hannity.
He did not invent it. He took it on a new to a whole new level. But
I remember I miss his Fox News show because it really was like a circus freak show
with the blackboard and everything.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Do you remember how Bill O'Reilly used to be like extreme for Fox News, and then he became like the most like sensible one on the show because they had Glenn Beck and all these other people like Sarah Palin and
yeah. I remember when I was a kid, Bill O'Reilly just seemed like this crazy out there conservative, and now he kind of seems like one of the more reasonable ones in comparison.
Yeah. Oh well, he actually has journalistic credibility, which is kind of I feel kind of weird saying that, but he actually does have a formal education in history and journalism, so I can at least, I can deal with his views.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
But, I can give him that. But yeah, there's the news wing of Fox News, and then there's the pundit version of Fox News. Unfortunately, they blur the lines on a regular basis there.
Fuck it!
Fuck it!
But yeah, did you want to read the rest of the story, or
no?
No? All right.
I don't think there's much more to say about it.
Okay. So the next thing we have here,
it already just degenerated into like, man, Chris Christie is one fat son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Look at him just eating that jelly donut like a pig at a trough, man. That's fucked up. Look at him, and he looks pissed. He's almost like, oh, fuck this jelly donut.
It's probably the last one. He's pissed off. Like, what the fuck with the other fucking 11? This is bullshit.
I know they're taking my picture, but I just don't care, guys. I just don't care, guys. So the next thing we have here is a story about a fraternity in Arizona. Apparently, they had a racist frat party. So they say. We'll listen to the story here.
I was invited.
You were invited. Did you go?
I went as Malcolm X. But I was wearing a big fake dildo, and I called myself Malcolm Sex.
Malcolm Sex.
Yeah.
Time now for the ridiculous. So Monday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and at events around the country, obviously Americans paid tribute to the civil rights leader's life and his legacy, and with respect and solemnity celebrated his vision, honored his dream. There were memorials, parades, days of service. Many volunteers spent the day making a difference in others' lives. And then there's what happened at Arizona State University, where members of the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity threw what they call the MLK Black Party. What might that entail, you ask? Just your average white kids dressed in basketball jerseys, throwing gang signs, and drinking from, believe it or not, watermelon cups. Now, I know, you don't want to believe that something so racist and asinine and ignorant could actually happen in 2014. Frankly, it would be easier just to pretend that someone got the story wrong. And after all, there's no proof that this happened, right? Well, there is. In fact, they posted pictures of the party on Instagram with hashtags like Happy MLK Day, homies, and Blackout for MLK. There's the woman with a watermelon cup. Arizona State says the university will not tolerate this kind of behavior. It suspended the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity while it investigates, and the school is also planning action against the individuals involved. You know, the last time we had a story about frat bros on The Ridiculous, it was about those guys who allegedly consumed boxes of wine through their posteriors with a system of rubber tubing. I think it was called Tour de Franzia. Anyway, I have to say, those guys, they're freaking Rhodes Scholars compared to these MLK Day frat bros. And that's the thing. We're just plumbing the depths of stupidity here. To me, it is terrifying that these people made it into college without learning anything about what is appropriate human behavior, and terrifying that they've got such an astounding lack of awareness and are so moronic about themselves.
Okay, first of all, a party like this would have easily have happened unnoticed 10, 15 years ago. These sort of parties have been going on a while. It's just now we have social media and everyone has a portable camera in their hand. So shit like this is going to end up getting public. So if you think there's a possibility that going to this party could damage your reputation, you just shouldn't go, thinking that you're going to have anonymity, because that's just how everything works now.
Yeah, I went as Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
Yeah, and I was like, Black Power, and then I'd whip out the fake black dick, and I just whack people with it.
Anderson Cooper is just being so indignant is funny. It's like, how could this happen? This is unbelievable. Yeah. It's like this happens all the time. Let's not be naive and act like there's not racist things going on.
Well, he said, how could this happen in 2014?
Yeah.
The thing is that you know of it because it's 2014. It's been happening forever. It's not going to stop happening. It's just that it's been exposed in 2014 because of the technology and the way everything gets put onto the internet. If there's a picture of something put on the internet and enough people are interested in it, everyone's going to know about it. And now you're on the news showing it. So, you're just spreading it even further. And we're spreading it even further.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just I'm not black, so I'm not offended. But
racist.
You
are now racist. You are now admitted racist.
I just don't even see why it would hurt anyone's feelings, to be honest. I don't get the pain. They say we like watermelon. No.
Well, do you like watermelon? Well, yeah. But
I mean, who the fuck doesn't like watermelon? It's fucking.
I love watermelon.
It's sweet and
I love
delicious.
Watermelon and fried chicken.
I guess it could have been much more mean-spirited. I think in many ways it was.
It really, if anything, it just strikes me as naive
and stupid, and that's what guys do. They do
exactly.
Stupid, shit.
This is just obviously they know this is in poor taste, but that's what has always been done. When you watch the movie Animal House, it's not like they're behaving by what the socially acceptable standard of the day is.
They're edgy.
Yeah, they're trying to flirt with the boundary, and that's all these guys are doing.
Absolutely.
I don't see the big deal. Fuck Anderson Cooper and his indignant ass.
And the world to actually post pictures of it like it's the spring semi-formal or whatever. Plus, it's just the dumbest idea I think I've ever heard of. Whatever happened to the good old-fashioned toga party? There's still that's still a frat bro thing, isn't it? Actually, what?
That's offensive to Greeks. That is offensive to Greeks, sir. You are appropriating their culture. You piece of shit.
The dumbest idea. It's like actually buying a pet rock or something. That's a dumber idea right there. Not inventing the pet rock. That's brilliant.
Hey, instead of doing something new and creative, just do a toga party. The most cliche fucking possible thing you could do. That will be non-offensive to everyone, because then no one's feelings have to be hurt.
They should have done a cocaine party, and they all should have just snorted cocaine.
They should have just snorted cocaine off of pictures of fucking Anderson Cooper's face.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure I remember a few years ago some frat party where everyone was dressed up Mexican. I think it was a Cinco de Mayo party, and they made kind of the same false rage over it.
We're fucking angry!
Yeah, this is so wrong. How could you do
How could this even happen?
2014.
2014. The year it is defends us from things like this happening magically.
Somehow, some way. All right, we'll finish out the story here while Anderson Cooper cries a little more.
This particular group of morons would do if you gave them a bunch of white sheets. Look, I get some college kids are going to do stupid things. I get this generation of college kids seems determined to document it all online, where it'll live forever, a permanent testament to shameless idiocy. Perhaps that fact is punishment enough, though, on the ridiculous.
Okay, well, the one thing I want to point out here is I do think that this sort of party was in poor taste. I would not attend this sort of party, but there's a big difference between what these guys were doing and wearing white sheets and burning crosses in people's front yards.
Yeah, and
like Anderson Cooper tried to say.
It's what would they do if given white sheets?
They'd probably form the Klan, Anderson. They'd probably go look for some black person to hang from a tree. That's what would happen. Because they're all the most hateful, malicious,
they would also start
racist in history.
Multi-level marketing scheme selling the sheets, which is what the Klan was. The second version of the Klan was.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty funny.
All right, so the next story.
The Drunken Peasants podcast is brought to you by the State of Israel. We are a wholly owned subsidiary.
Actually, I brought up this picture.
Zion.
Don't recognize Palestine. Thank you.
Zion. Zion.
Just read the story, TJ.
Zion.
Just read the story.
Okay. What is the story? Israeli. Where's the headline? Let's see. Israel arrests 3 allegedly planning U.S. embassy attack. Israeli security services have arrested 3 men they say were in the initial stages. That means they probably just like talked about it once. Of an al-Qaeda-linked plot to bomb the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv, as well as the International Convention Center in Jerusalem, according to Israeli Prime Minister and local news reports. The 3 men were arrested on Christmas Day and are alleged to have been recruited over the internet by a member of one of the al-Qaeda-linked global jihad groups operating in Gaza, according to Haaretz, which cited a high-level official in Shin Bet, Israel's Internal Security Service. The Jerusalem Post reported that Shin Bet sources said that the recruiter received his orders directly from Ayman al-Zawahiri, the man who took over the leadership of al-Qaeda after Osama bin Laden's death in May of 2011. So, basically, we caught some guys in the initial stages of planning some attack that will never actually happen now. I mean, it's kind of like strange, the news reports of things that might have happened, but you don't really know. Like, would this have actually happened if we hadn't stopped it? Like, if 9/11 had been stopped, then the only thing you ever would have heard about it would have been like a blip in the news back in 2001, like, you know, Saudi Arabians caught in early stages of terrorist plot to fly buildings into towers. People would be like, there's no way they could even pull that off.
That's like a 3rd or 4th page story right there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of weird to see stories like this and wonder, like, was that like a big terrorist attack that was averted, or is that just some bullshit, like, you know, some guys that were arrested for like getting a little bit too amped up in a chat room or something?
Exactly.
You know, they're like, we should bomb this and we should bomb that.
Well,
I
the
mean,
state of Israel takes all that shit ultra seriously, like probably more seriously than anywhere else in the world, because they have so much, like, they have so many bomb threats and all these. They're just constant high alert, so they're. Anything they hear is going to be definitely investigated.
Well, in some ways, I empathize with them in the fact that, you know, they are surrounded by
hostile forces on all sides.
But, you know, understanding that, they are also by far the far superior military force in the region.
Yes, and they're very
for sure.
And they're very aggressive and have a lot of racist policies.
Well, they also have a conscription law where every citizen must join the military. There's only a few countries that actually have such a law. Switzerland is also one of them, where everyone is part of the military in some fashion. They do their service. And actually, when there was the big part of the gun debate last year with all the shootings that occurred, I learned about Switzerland's gun laws, and apparently in Switzerland they can carry fully automatic weaponry in their home, which is kind of
Switzerland. Fuck yeah!
So hey, all you gun nuts. Become Swiss.
Yeah.
I always thought that was funny because people in like America will be like, "Fucking Europeans don't like guns." Like, there's actually a lot of countries where they love guns.
Yeah,
it's not even true.
Well, the difference about Switzerland, and we are digressing here, but Switzerland is kind of like this little hole.
I love that there's a big Star of Israel, and we're talking about Switzerland.
The Star of Switzerland.
I want some chocolate.
Anyway, yeah, you know, before we talk about Switzerland, feel free to just finish the article here.
Well,
By
I mean,
the way, we are the drunken peasants.
The 3 guys tried to blow some shit up, but they were stopped. I mean, what else is there to say? Let's talk about Switzerland.
Okay, well, Switzerland is like a big hole in the middle of the European Union. It's one country that hands down could have joined the European Union, but they didn't. And they're just surrounded by the EU.
Well, yeah, their banking
point.
laws they didn't want to change.
Absolutely.
Fuck your unions. We want nothing
Well,
of
and the
this.
franc too.
It's absolutely
they didn't
beautiful
want to adopt
too.
the euro.
One of my favorite. I put it in my top 10 favorite countries in the world.
And one of the richest countries in the world. So
Yes.
it's a very interesting place.
Yeah.
Ben just likes them rich countries.
No, that's not true.
Ben's like,
Well,
fuck you,
name
Ecuador.
one poor country you like.
More like
Ben.
Ecuador.
Never been to Ecuador. Never been to South America. Been to all of North America.
Yeah, because they don't have
pretty
enough.
much.
They don't have enough fucking money for you, you greedy fuck.
I've been to
millionaires.
I've been to all of North America, and then I've also been to about half of Europe.
Women in Brazil have large asses.
Yeah, that does happen.
Is that the only reason you would go there, TJ?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I was my tourism pitch for Brazil.
So now we're going to move into our pan segment. We have an extra long pan segment today.
Hey, 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 hey! Smoke pan every day.
And we have 3 stories here, and I have some bad news for TJ.
Oh shit.
TJ, you are about to agree with Piers Morgan.
No.
Pierce. Absolutely no evidence.
By the way, this is Piers Morgan, and he is debating Ann Coulter, which right there just shows that TJ is going to agree with Piers Morgan.
So, I mean, anyone would agree with Piers Morgan over, like, a caricature.
Yeah. And
which she is.
I think she, and there's nothing wrong with this part of her, but it would explain a lot. I think Ann Coulter is secretly a man, and I'm about to post several pictures that show evidence to that point. But I'll just go ahead and play.
Yeah,
and
play the clip. Let's see why she's a man and crazy.
Well, I'm also going to play some. I'm going to show some pictures here too.
Evidence that cannabis is any worse
Well, I
than
suppose it
alcohol.
depends
So why
what
is
you
it
mean by-
illegal and cannabis?
Well, I'm
and
trying to
cigarettes
answer, but
and
as soon as
alcohol?
I answer, you're going to interrupt me and say, no, it's not,
Well,
no,
you
it's
keep
not,
saying
no, it's
that's
not.
untrue, but then explain why.
Well, I keep trying to when you keep interrupting.
Well,
Now
go
I'm
on.
going to explain now. So don't interrupt. Look, the sole purpose for smoking pot or eating a pot brownie is to get high. That is not true with alcohol.
Yes,
People
it is.
Okay.
Wait. Well, I mean, I guess I can kind of see the point she's making, where like someone might drink just like a little bit of alcohol, not really meaning to become inebriated or something. But you could take one hit of pot just to feel a little bit mellow.
That argument is that's a
So that really doesn't work. I mean,
bullshit.
that's really just born out of ignorance
Yes.
of like what marijuana is actually like.
This is an argument from ignorance that she's about to give to you.
Okay.
And by the way, what the fuck is wrong with her hand? Just want to point that out really quick. And then I'll move on to the next picture, which shows some more weird things about her. She's just some kind of weird genetic freak, honestly.
She's a fucking monster.
enjoy. Well, maybe you're a 14-year-old. They're going to keg parties still.
Everybody drinks
But-
alcohol to get slightly higher than when they start drinking it. Surely. What's the point of drinking alcohol?
Absolutely. I have done TV after drinks. I bet you have too.
Are you
I'm drunk
intoxicated now?
right now.
That would explain a lot of things. Have you ever smoked pot?
Wait, would you please let me finish one
Quite a
sentence,
confession.
Piers Morgan?
You're sort of you're rambling.
People enjoy wine.
You're
They drink
rambling.
wine for a purpose.
I like
They will
that
buy
you're
$800
Hey,
bottle.
stop. I do like Piers Morgan in this.
You're rambling.
I knew you would.
Yeah, he should host a show with her because she makes him seem downright likable.
Yeah, they should have her as the co-host.
Yeah,
she should be on every.
You wanna know why?
I want to start my day with the Morgan and Coulter
TD,
show.
You want to know why it works so well? She sounds like she's
Morgan
batshit
and Coulter
cra-
in the morning.
Batshit insane. Are you just crazy? And he has this like proper British accent. He's all like,
Yeah, so it kind of has this whole like. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Bottles of wine. Perhaps you have a warm feeling. It does not. You can tell if somebody's been smoking pot. Their eyes are red. They giggle at everything. And by the way, they're incapable of carrying on the normal functions
Have you
of
ever
life.
smoked pot?
No, I haven't.
Never in your
Almost
life?
none of my friends have because they're athletes.
So how?
She went to the University of Michigan, and I just want to call bullshit on her last statement.
I believe her because I believe her just because like she seems to know nothing about smoking
yeah, she's
pot.
incredibly uptight too.
I think she's a troll, and I think most of the things she says are bullshit.
That's probably
troll.
true.
Oh no doubt. I mean, she just wants attention.
She went to the University of Michigan. I mean, I know not many people understand what that means, but it's hard to believe that someone who actually went there, you know.
Yeah, that'd be like saying you go to Berkeley, you've never smoked weed.
Yeah,
it's like
it's kinda
420
like
and
that.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll play a little more of this.
Hey.
Smoke pan every day.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you know what it does?
Because I'm around potheads. Many of my best friends
Really?
are potheads.
How many
And
potheads
in
are you
fact,
around?
a lot
A
of
minute
them.
ago, she said
well,
she's not around anyone who's a pothead. They're all athletes.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. So that's
What
total
what
bullshit.
happened? What just happened?
What
I
a
don't know
tangled
any- I know
web
a
we
bunch.
weave.
I don't hang out with anyone who smokes weed. I have a lot of friends who are potheads.
What?
What's the difference? Is there some sort of difference that we don't know about?
There's a very strange distinction going on here.
Look, potheads can still get their pot. They're probably self-medicating. But the more people who take it, and if it is made legal, vastly more people will take it. And it will be a disaster for commerce.
Why?
How would it be a
Because-
disaster for commerce? It's part of commerce.
Well, I think the evidence now is to the contrary anyway.
yeah, but like, look, even if like, even if you get so high that you don't buy anything else, you're still buying pot. So there's commerce right there.
I think her educational reference was Reefer Madness. Like,
yeah, besides, like,
the minute you smoke pot, you become a danger to yourself and everyone
besides,
else.
like, the sales of, like, cookies and brownies and every pretty much sweet thing
and
would go
fast
up.
food late night drive would go up.
Taco Bell sales through the fucking roof.
Yes.
Wendy's sales through the roof. McDonald's sales through the roof. Pizza sales
So, I
through
mean,
the
the
roof.
economy is going to benefit from this. So she's just
Especially,
insane.
we need to get pot legalized just as the minimum wage goes up, because then everyone can just smoke a shitload of weed all the time.
Well, I mean, it's already evident in Colorado at this point. So, and we're so early into the process. Their society is not crumbling, and there's jobs being created.
This
in
just in,
industry.
Colorado falls the fuck apart.
Yeah. Yes.
A super volcano is going to form in the center of Denver and kill everyone.
Potheads are incapable of following simple instructions and getting a job done. I used to carry around as my sole argument against pot legalization.
But it's like saying alcoholics
As I was
have
saying,
a drain on the economy.
to pick up in the middle of the sentence I was just on before you
But what do you mean by
interrupted me,
pothead?
was when I moved
Well, what does
to a
what
new
does she
place-
want? To just talk unencumbered for, like, give it like a giant soliloquy or something? I mean, it's a fucking back and forth kind of discussion.
To smoke or not to
and
smoke,
she
that
keeps
is
getting
the
like
question.
she keeps getting really indignant, like, you're
Keep interrupting. I'm trying to explain. If you would just quit interrupting me.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I
Fucking
finish?
liberal scam.
Can I finish? All right, I'm finished.
Can I finish?
in California, and there was a pool, and the pool guy didn't, I come back, and it's 4 feet down, and it's covered with green mold, and I called him up. He was a pothead. Oh, I was there that day. So I took 3 pictures, and henceforth, that was my argument. I don't have
What?
So a pool
This
with
is just
chlorinated
gibberish at this-
water in California became it sunk 4 feet down. It was filled with green sludge.
Now you know she's lying because she's high doing this.
Yeah.
Like, if she thinks that's a good example.
Well, she's probably high on the legal drugs that her doctor prescribed to her, so that doesn't count.
They're okay. They came from Pfizer. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey.
But
Let me try and stop.
Pharmaceuticals
You
are
can't
okay.
get anything done with a pothead. What we need to
What
do
do
is
you
encourage
mean by a
people.
pothead?
Everyone knows what a pothead is.
What does it mean?
It's not smoking pot one time.
So how much are you assuming a pothead takes?
Enough so that it can be made fun of on TV by Brad Pitt in this
So
movie.
like a
and
heavy
another-
drinker or a heavy smoker?
No, heavy smokers work all night and then die young, saving the Social Security system money. We, for commercial purposes, for the purposes of the good of the country, we ought to encourage Americans to smoke like mad. They'd be incredibly productive, and then they'd die young and not have long, lingering deaths.
I just want to point out, for those of you listening,
I think
right
she's
now,
like PR for the Emperor from Star Wars.
For those of you listening now that aren't familiar with Ann Coulter, she actually wrote a book that said that the widows of 9/11 victims were enjoying the deaths of their husbands because of all the publicity that they got afterwards. So this is someone who runs their mouth and says very provocative, extreme things whenever she's in the public eye, just to get a reaction out of people. And I don't know why people keep having her back. Honestly, she is,
because I think that as crazy and out there as she is, what she's saying actually does represent the genuine sentiment of someone out there.
I had also heard that she was the precursor to the Fox News blonde, anchor woman. The thing is that everyone I've ever told, anyone that's ever told me, well, Ann Coulter's a good-looking lady, I cannot agree with that.
No.
She is fucking hideous.
I think it was funny too. She's like, the Social Security system, save it money, and I'm like, well, people pay into that. That's how it's funded, through like payroll taxes and basically taxes you pay. It's not like, it's more of the conservative nonsense of like, oh, this is just funded by the government. It's like, well, who pays the fucking taxes, you idiots?
Potheads, no, I'm going to be paying for their food, housing, now for their health care, apparently, because they can't perform any useful job. Can you imagine if...
No, you stupid bitch. You're not going to have to pay for any of it because the taxes that's going to be generated from people smoking pot will go into things like, welfare and stuff like that to help fund that. So you're not going to be having to shell that kind of money out.
Yeah, not only that, but like, What the fuck does that even like? What is this weird notion that like, oh, if you smoke pot, you can't work?
Very not true.
I mean, I could find like 1,000 examples to prove that wrong, like tomorrow.
Is total bullshit. People are continuing to smoke weed. This is just, I mean, they just want to keep it criminalized. For some reason, they think it's better to have it criminalized than arrest 700,000 people in America every year.
Well, I can definitely tell you this: someone could smoke a whole quarter of an ounce of weed in one night and go to sleep and wake up and feel fine to go to work in the morning. But someone who drinks, a fifth of liquor that night is not going to feel good and is not going to want to go to work the next morning and will probably call in.
Yeah, I mean, like,
unless it's TJ.
I know a lot of construction workers and shit, and pretty much all of them smoke weed, and they're pretty hardworking for the most part. So
and conservative too.
Yeah, and conservative.
The vast majority of people that take marijuana on a recreational basis are not, by your definition, potheads.
The point is,
in the same way that most people who drink
more
alcohol are not alcoholics or heavy drinkers with a problem.
Once the cat is out of the bag, you can't put it back in. That was the problem.
Yeah, but here's the
problem.
But the issue is not that.
Again, to pick up where I was in the middle of my sentence, but during Prohibition,
the issue is not that. Why do we treat
every alcohol-related disease, cirrhosis of the liver, accidents as a result of alcohol went down precipitously. It will go up. We will have this is how many potheads we have when it's illegal. I think that's just about enough.
Let me answer you. Nobody has ever overdosed on cannabis. Did you know that?
So what? They can't perform daily functions. They're going to be on my tax bill.
But you accept that people die of smoking. You accept that people can overdose on too much alcohol.
Well, but everybody dies eventually.
Is that her argument?
It is.
Everyone dies eventually.
Everyone dies eventually. Oh my God! It's like everyone dies, so whatever.
Everyone dies eventually.
The sun will eventually burn out. What will happen then? No one knows.
At that point, it almost sounds like she's arguing that everyone should smoke weed.
It sounds like she's arguing with herself while she is talking. No,
yeah.
like she talks to her hand or something. Then she slaps herself when she doesn't agree with herself. Oh no, you're wrong.
Your answer.
No, but to say people die of smoking, what is considered a smoking death? Is any heart attack is considered a smoking death?
The point is that the argument is that alcohol.
That's a true fact, by the way.
That heavy consumption
someone who
of
has
alcohol,
never smoked will be considered a smoking
heavy
death.
consumption of alcohol or heavy consumption of cigarettes is more dangerous to your health.
No, it isn't.
Than
Alcohol
cannabis.
is good for you. You take out the category. Have you been reading the Science Times? It's study after study. Alcohol is good for you. You should have a glass a day. Or two.
We'll have a glass after the show, and we'll test your
Or
theory.
two. No, it's true. Alcohol is good for you. Pot is not good for you, and in fact, it is very cancerous. Now they're getting these young kids coming in, having heart attacks at very young ages, and it's because they're potheads.
It's just degenerated into total gibberish at this point.
Yes.
There's nothing substantive happening. This is just like the ramblings of someone who doesn't even care.
She cares. She just wants every wacky statement.
She cares about
makes.
selling her next book. That's what she
Exactly.
cares about.
All of her books have one-word titles like "godless" or "slander."
It would be interesting if she actually constructed like intellectually cogent arguments for the positions that she's espousing. But since she doesn't do that, it's just kind of boring.
Which is kind of funny because she's a lawyer by her educational background. She must have sucked so bad as a lawyer because people wouldn't buy her bullshit in a courtroom that she's doing this kind of shit now.
Look at this guy. He's like guilty. See how black he is. Oh my God.
And by the way, at least they'll save me money if they just go ahead and die, but they rarely just go ahead and die.
How humane of you.
Okay, so they're going to save her money if they just go ahead and die.
You'd save me money if you
By the
just
way,
go ahead and die.
Her buddy Rush Limbaugh was buying drugs illegally for years and was doing them.
That's okay.
Oh.
Rush is different because he's conservative and white, and
It's okay then.
And it wasn't weed.
Yeah, no, it was prescription drugs that were illegally obtained.
Yeah, well, like OxyContin. Obviously, you can work on it because he did his show.
OxyContin is one of the most dangerously addictive drugs in the world, and most people that get addicted to it when they get cut off by their doctor go on to heroin, and that is absolutely a fact. So let's move on to this other story about the weed business booming in Colorado.
Boom! The weed business is booming in Colorado. All right. Weed business. Damn it.
The business of weed.
Fucking shit. Nothing's where I want it.
Do you have a clip or do you have an article?
I don't know what I have. I don't see the story he's referring to. I see one that says marijuana versus alcohol, which is really worse for your health. So maybe I'll just do this one.
Yeah, just do that one for now.
Oh wait, no, this is never mind. This I was on the story. I was supposed to be reading.
Okay.
Family-owned Colorado marijuana shop wants to become Costco of weed. The pot business is booming in Colorado, and the owners of one of the state's largest marijuana dispensaries have big plans to become the Costco of weed. According to the Denver Post Cannabist, members of the Williams family who own Medicine Man in northeast Denver... By the way, why the fucking bastards at Duck Dynasty have a show when these guys don't have a show? I want this Williams family to have a fucking show. Who owns Medicine Man in northeast Denver, are embarking on a $2.6 million expansion, including a 20,000 square foot retail space, all in white like an Apple store. We're building a showcase for the world, Andy Williams, Medicine Man's president and co-founder, told Time magazine. Their current headquarters, located in Denver's Montbello neighborhood, now dubbed Potbello, includes bulletproof glass, armed security guards, 65 security cameras, and a $35,000 charcoal air filtration system that is supposed to eliminate the pot smell coming from the building.
You know what's weird? They say they want to be the Costco of weed, then they're saying we want to look like the Apple store. It's like, wait, what?
We're gonna be the they sell weed for a living. We're gonna be like the Costco of weed. Like it's gonna be like an Apple store, man.
That's what I was
but with
thinking.
like armed guards and cameras.
I want an Apple store of weed with all the different flavors. Like have like a map. Like this weed comes from Afghanistan, Afghan Kush. You're like, oh right, this is from British Columbia. All right.
This just in: Ben is dying.
Ben is expelling mucus everywhere. Everywhere.
Ben just sneezed like 82 times in a row.
I have allergies.
Yeah, he's allergic to me. Yeah, so the pot business in Colorado is booming to the point where people are now making $2.6 million investments in their pot businesses.
In a brand new business.
Yeah, this is like, they've been doing this for like a couple of weeks, and now they're like, we need to expand. We need to put $2.6 million into a 20,000 square foot location. Ben is dead.
Ben is officially dead. TJ killed him. His TJ allergies have killed him.
Ben smoked some of that Colorado weed, and now he's stuck on the sneeze cycle.
I just think it's strange that people are making such a big deal about all this stuff in Colorado. Like, oh my god, they're having weed stores, and oh my god, they're doing
I
this.
never realized how novel marijuana was to some people until they started covering this stuff in these stores. Like, I finally started to understand why so many people were against weed. It was just because they were so fucking ignorant that they knew nothing about it.
Yeah, well, that's what started marijuana prohibition in the U.S. anyway, was the ignorance of it and the propaganda films that fueled the ignorance of it.
That sounded like the most congested man in the universe.
Yeah,
like,
having an allergy attack.
The most congested man in the world. When he sees a cat, he runs in fear.
Now I'm going to start pulling metal out of my face.
Metal. Full metal jacket.
So, Chidi, do you want to shop at the Costco for weed, or do you want to go to the Walmart of weed?
I'm hoping one day weed is just available at the real Costco. But I don't give a fuck if it's...
By the pound? I'll take a couple pounds of weed.
I'd rather go to the Whole Foods of weed. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
The Apple store of weed.
I only get GMO-free weed.
Dude, you would not want the fucking Apple store of weed. The weed would be like twice as much for the same thing.
This weed is $2,000 an ounce because it's better.
It comes in a shiny white box.
This weed will actually fillet you as you smoke it.
The second letter will be capitalized, and the first one will not be.
Tendrils of smoke will reach down to your penis and massage it until you reach climax. It will be a joyous experience.
You'll have one-hit wonder.
And then another weed-related story. Woo! Weed Marijuana versus alcohol, which is actually worse? The question of whether alcohol or marijuana is worse for health is being debated once again, this time sparked by comments that President Barack Obama made in a recent interview with the New Yorker magazine. As has been well documented, I smoked pot as a kid, and I view it as a bad habit and vice, not very different from the cigarettes that I smoked as a young person up through a big chunk of my adult life.
He still smokes them.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Obama said during an interview, I don't think it is more dangerous than alcohol. But how apt is the comparison between these two substances? While both are intoxicants used recreationally, their legality, patterns of use, and long-term effects on the body make up two different drugs difficult to compare. All right, they're not really difficult to compare.
Well, just because they're different kinds of drugs doesn't mean that they're difficult to compare. We just look at how they affect people.
Difficult to impair.
In one, you end up as a hippie in Oregon. The other, you end up like a drunk in the gutter. You know, dead in a ditch.
You end up wearing a wife beater, living in a trailer park.
Yeah, I mean, like, if someone points you to the town drunk, they're pointing you to, like, a gutter. If someone points you to the town hippie, they're probably just going to be pointing to, like, a barn outside of town where there's just some guy sitting on his lawn chair, like, smoking a fatty. And, like, hey, man, how you doing, bro?
No, Obama's a total hypocrite because... You know, he kind of jokes around about how he smoked weed when he was younger. Ha ha ha! I smoked weed when I was younger. I've even heard him joke about it at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and that sort of shit.
Yes, I smoked pot. Now I throw people in jail for it.
Yeah. So, does he think his life would have been better if he would have gotten busted?
Yeah.
You know, would he be president? No, he wouldn't even have gotten to be a senator.
But, you know, we're making progress, because Bill Clinton was like, yeah, well, I took a hit, but I didn't really, like, inhale it or nothing.
Yeah, bullshit.
And then Obama's like, I smoked it a little when I was younger. Pretty soon we're just going to have a president that's like, I smoke weed every day.
Well, he can't pretend like he's interested in making the lives of young Americans better if he still thinks incarceration is the best result of someone who is caught by the law to have been smoking.
Prohibition always works. We've seen it time and time again. It works every time. And
I guarantee you that if he would have ever have been charged for smoking weed, or I believe he actually had admitted to doing coke. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, I believe he did.
He did.
That's an even worse offense, and we know.
Yeah, I mean, like if he'd actually got caught snorting coke, he would not be president now.
No way.
Oh, fuck
he
no.
wouldn't have Michelle either. He wouldn't. His life would be totally different.
Yeah, he'd be dating like Shawanda.
Yeah.
Over at the hair salon.
So why does he stand by the position that this is still the best course of action for the government to handle these controlled substances?
You act like the president actually says what he really thinks, which is, I don't know. I think that might be naive. I think the president is just like someone who says whatever he thinks people want to hear.
Yeah.
Well, so many people still have this very stick in the mud attitude about weed, where they're like you said, there's such a novelty to some people. Like, wow, these people are just druggies. Like, there's people who honestly believe that if you smoke pot, you are a fucking junkie.
Well, even like Ann Coulter was saying earlier, sure, whatever. There are cardiovascular issues with marijuana use. Sure. Inhaling anything except for oxygen can be bad for you. The thing is that there are alternative ways to use marijuana as far as vaporizing or consumables that don't even have any negative effects on the respiratory system or the cardiovascular system.
Speaking of that, I think it's time for this show to go to a break.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here. We will be right back. This is the Drunken Peasants Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. We will be back in about 15 minutes or so.
And if we're not, just wait longer.
Yes.
Dun 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 dun. Cocaine.
right, we are back on the Drunken Peasants podcast.
No, we're not. He's lying.
I lied. We're not back.
You're imagining things.
Okay.
Put the music back on. No.
Okay.
All right.
We'll put it back on. Okay, now we're really back.
Good.
Okay.
U.S. states that rank the lowest in education. This is a top 10 list.
A top 10 list of the U.S. states that rank the lowest in education.
And hey, people in the chat room, if you hear your state come up, don't feel afraid to just call out.
Just come forward and
if
make
we
her an
name
idiot.
your state, just type it out and put it in the comments.
Yeah.
All right, so number 10.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, you are number 10.
State score 64.2. High school graduation rate 73.9. 20th worst. Per pupil expenditure $9,075. 8th lowest. Preschool enrollment 45.3%. You know, I don't think these matter.
Yeah, I mean they're just how they got the overall rating.
So like basically they did their homework. There's like criteria for this.
Oklahoma has like basically cattle and a bunch of leather shops.
Cattle and leather shops, which are related things. Number 9.
Michigan, not a surprise.
More like bitch again.
I wonder how much Detroit drags Michigan down.
Oh, Detroit drags Michigan down in education in
Probably
every other way.
yeah.
There are good towns in
Detroit
Michigan.
is like a rock tied
And-
to Michigan neck.
Detroit and Flint and Dearborn, those kind of towns, they suck ass. And then there's nice towns in Michigan, like there's Grand Rapids, there's Ann Arbor, even Kalamazoo. Those are nice towns. But a city like Detroit and then towns like Flint drag down Michigan. So
My hometown of Flint, Michigan.
yeah.
That's every Michael Moore document. At some point, it's gonna come back to
and
my
Flint,
hometown of Flint, Michigan.
That place is a ghost town.
Flint, Michigan.
So now we're gonna move on to number 8. Here we go. Drum roll.
Number 8. South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Okay, and no one here knows anything about South Dakota. So
I just play crickets because I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
I wish I had that soundbite.
Yeah, me too. Because I don't know what the fuck to say about North Dakota, South Dakota. Sorry,
South Dakota.
either Dakota. I got nothing.
North Dakota is
Hey,
like there's nobody
hey, TJ,
there.
Steve went hunting in South Dakota for pheasant.
Yeah, and Mount Rushmore is in South
So
Dakota.
there's apparently
Yes.
pheasant and Mount Rushmore.
That's it.
That's all. That's about it. Yeah.
All right, so number 7,
South Carolina.
South Carolina, and it's kind of funny because there's pictures in this article, and when they show South Carolina, they're showing these little buildings that barely reach over the trees. It's supposed to be some sort of skyline or something.
South Carolina in your vagina. Do 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 do. That has nothing to do with anything.
It just shows we don't know shit about South Carolina either.
Yeah. Number 6.
Alaska. They're
Alaska.
just lucky they even have schools.
You
Come on.
betcha. You betcha.
If Sarah Palin is a product of their education system, it's no wonder.
Yeah. Number 5 is Alabama.
Sweet home.
Oh, Alabama.
Oh God. All right.
We went there.
I know.
We went there brazenly, boldly, with not even a shred of fucking
We have no dignity.
yeah, dignity or hesitation or whatever.
Number 4.
West Virginia.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I feel weird even being close to West
The same
Virginia.
state where they were okay with the chemicals spilling into their water.
Bunch of chemicals poisoning us. Cool.
At least we got a job.
At least that chemical plant's making a job.
I'll probably have a job cleaning up the chemicals, so it's actually employing me twice.
Woo! Double employment.
Number 3.
Get paid once to spill it, get paid again to clean it up.
Number 3 is a state that I used to live in, New Mexico. Nuevo Mexico.
That's not a state, that's a country.
Is that in the U.S. or where is that? I don't understand.
You're from New Mexico? Do you speak Spanish?
Do you speak the Spanglish, boy?
Do you guys all have dirt roads over there in New Mexico?
Where's your sombrero?
Do you have electricity and running water?
Did you need a passport to come to Ohio from New Mexico?
Do the toilets flush clockwise or counterclockwise?
But yeah,
Where are the
education does
wombats?
suck in New Mexico. They have like a horrible...
I call it New Sexico because I go there to fuck prostitutes.
You've
You turned everything into something about sex.
No, I
It's
don't.
Malcolm Sachs now. What is it? New Mexico.
New
Yeah,
Sexico.
so you're gonna have to come up with something new pretty soon here.
No.
All right, number 2, Louisiana.
Or as I like to call it, Sex Anna.
Crickets. We know a lot about Louisiana. We used to live there.
We used to call it Loser Anna.
Yeah, tell me about the education system in Louisiana.
They care more about disciplining you for things like you can't have if you're a male, you can't have your hair longer than your collar. You
I
can't,
discovered that.
What?
You can't have.
Yeah,
a
you're
beard.
not allowed to have long hair.
Just in a regular public school?
Public school.
Yes, public
Wow.
school.
Had been challenged in the state Supreme Court, and the state
They upheld it.
Yeah, they upheld it.
Yeah, because some kid had long hair for religious reasons, and they ruled that the school was still allowed to make them chop it off.
Wow, was he like a Sikh or something?
He was like Native American.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
So Louisiana basically is more about. They don't even have an education system. They just have a place where you go to obey stupid rules for like 7 hours out of the day.
Wow.
And the mustache
Kind of sounds like Catholic school.
They also had a facial hair rule. You could have a Hitler handlebar mustache, but that was it. That's the only. No, I'm serious. That's the only one you could have. You had any facial hair. Like you have to go shave your facial hair. That the school would charge you money to go shave.
Yeah, they charge you money for a shitty little disposable razor to shave your facial hair.
Okay. I already hate this place and never want to go there. All right, number 1, and our good friend Dusty Smith will be proud of this one. Number 1 is Mississippi.
MISSISSIPPI.
Yeah.
Peed in your eye. Is that what you're saying?
PP
The
in my
high school
eye.
graduation rate in Mississippi is 64.4%.
The 5th worst.
Yes.
The student expenditure is $9,542, which is the 13th lowest. Preschool enrollment is the 6th highest, actually.
Yeah. So-
Mississippi, but yeah, I guess that they fail all around. But I mean,
There's no follow through apparently. In that state.
anyone who goes to Mississippi for even the briefest of visits will not be surprised by that outcome.
I knew New Mexico would be on this list because of their high school graduation rate, which you can see right here is the worst in the nation, 59.4%.
Yeah, it's really low.
Is that number is from 9th graders that go on to graduate. So 59.4% of 9th graders that enter high school in the state of New Mexico do actually graduate. So that's just under half.
So 40% are basically like, hey, fuck this shit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy for a whole state. It's a low populated state, probably about 2.5 million people, but about 4 times the area.
So the
of
state
Ohio.
doesn't even matter anyway.
Well, it does matter.
There's barely anyone there.
It's been growing, though.
It's a ghost town.
There's 3 dudes and a dog there.
All it is like a couple.
And the dog's a male, and they're all the guys are male. There'll be no baby.
Only people who live in Mexico is New Mexico is Sancho and his dog Buck.
It's not true.
That's it. Sancho and Buck. That's it.
No, his dog's name is Manya.
And a tumbleweed. No, his dog's name is Buck.
No, it's not Buck.
It's Buck.
I'm going to sue you, TJ.
He saw Uncle
I'm
Buck.
suing you.
He always liked that movie Uncle Buck with John
No,
Candy.
I'm suing you.
And he's like, I named dog.
So now we have another story about the chemical spill in West Virginia.
Down in the valley where a chemical spill.
Apparently, they found a second chemical that's entered the water.
Woohoo!
Probably with an equally difficult to pronounce name.
Here's TJ with the
I have
latest.
to read. Okay, go up a little.
Yes, you have to read.
A second chemical. Okay. Second chemical entered water in West Virginia spill. A second chemical was released during a spill that contaminated the water supply for 300,000 West Virginians. State officials said Wednesday through the newly identified substance appeared to be less toxic than the coal cleaning agent already known to have leaked. State officials sharply criticized the company at the center of the January 9th something or another. I don't know. Ben put up something that blocked it. Failing to report the presence of the second chemical and ordered them to disclose everything that leaked into the Elk River from their storage tank by 4 p.m. Wednesday. So apparently they're just like, oh, there might be some other chemicals we didn't tell you about.
Oops.
Only the one, we're pretty sure the zombie chemical wasn't in there, but you might want to stock up on shotguns just in fucking case.
If your sister cousin tells you that she's a zombie, blow her fucking head off.
Most zombies are not like, me zombie.
I was about to say, Halloween must be pretty scary in West Virginia if they take it that seriously.
Yeah.
I'm a zombie this year. Oh shit, I knew it was gonna happen. Walking Dead was right.
Oh shit, Uncle Dad, I'm gonna have to blow your head off now.
That's awesome. So yeah, basically, evil corporations up to nefarious shit. Nothing new.
Yeah.
Now we have 2 Bill Cosby stories in a row.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this, but believe it or not, everyone out there, TJ is actually a huge Bill Cosby fan.
Yeah, that's true.
So do you want to do the video story first?
TJ's a
and
shrine
then
to
do
Yeah,
the,
run the video.
all right. Well, let me put old Bill's.
Now, Bill Cosby is 76 years
TJ,
old.
tell,
I know,
tell
it's
the
pretty
audience about
amazing.
your shrine to Bill Cosby you have in your closet.
Yeah, I built it out of my pubic hairs that I shave off
It's almost like
on
Ganesh.
the 30th of each month, and then I build a little Bill Cosby statue out of the pubes.
Oh shit! You know what?
What happened?
Oh no, don't worry about it. I forgot to put it on here. We'll cover it after Bill Cosby.
Okay.
All right. So here is a video interview with Bill Cosby. It has to do. He went to an event commemorating the death of a young black girl, a hate crime basically, and he was interviewed about different subjects. And here's one right here that they were asking him about. Here we go.
More now from my conversation yesterday with Bill Cosby. The legendary entertainer was in Birmingham, Alabama to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the bombing that killed 4 little girls. He answers his critics, and my question dealing with what some call respectability politics. These days, many call that respectability politics, and that gets you nowhere, that you're somehow being a good citizen is appeasing the white man because you conduct yourself a certain way. What do you make of this whole idea about respectability politics?
Well, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what that means. I think it's an excuse because they don't know their history. And when you speak like that, you don't know how people get to a certain point. For instance, if a person doesn't come to a certain neighborhood, or then people say, well, nobody wants to come here. You say, okay, so then when a person comes, then they say, well, will he be back? So how many times do you have to continue to come back before the people you're trying to help really believe that you're serious? So somewhere in the psyche is maybe a low self-esteem, or maybe not wanting to get started, or very much like some people who will say, well, wait, give me the job first, then I'll study to see how to do it. I don't want to have to work for something and then be disappointed and not get it. So I'll just stay in the position I'm in.
And there is a difference, because in that you're not saying that you're going to end racism or discrimination, or you're not going to encounter it, because you're talking in, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, about personal responsibility. Those are 2 different conversations and 2 different methods of dealing with things.
And the people who say it the wrong way know exactly what they're saying. They are protectionists. They are no-gros who perhaps see themselves maybe out of work. If our people decide to all get together and say, yeah, he's right. I got to take care of my kids. Yes, the revolution is in the home. It is here. You can't keep pointing there. If you know who the enemy happens to be, then put yourself in a position to unseat the enemy and become the hometown favorite.
You are passionate about that issue, and you're passionate about entrepreneurship.
So basically, like, I think what's going on here is Bill Cosby is coming under a little bit of fire for espousing some supposedly white, more socially conservative views on, like, family life, rather than you know, like the basically and making, and probably, you know, in doing so, making a lot of criticisms about the state of Black America that really, like, a white person wouldn't be able to make.
And you know what? This pissed me off because I couldn't believe they were trying to Uncle Tom Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I mean, especially
Bill Cosby is anything but.
I mean, especially, yeah, considering how boundary breaking he was. I mean, in fact, he was actually a crucial part of the birth of independent filmmaking because he financially supported the creation of Sweetback's Badass Revenge, which was like one of the first independent movies to be financially successful, and it was also kind of the creation of the what later became the blaxploitation genre. But you know, that was pretty crucial to moving America forward in a lot of ways. I mean, this is a very innovative entertainer with a long, you know, storied history of you know, being among the greats. I mean, definitely one of, you know, going to be go down as one of the greatest comedians of all time.
He did it all. He did stand-up, he did television, he did film. I mean, he's been successful in all genres like that.
Yeah.
So, here's a little more.
About education, and it's the reason that you are in Birmingham on this anniversary, the 50th anniversary of the 16th Street Baptist Church, to honor the 4 little girls, but also to do what? To move what forward in the future? Why are you doing what you're doing?
We were attacked, all of us. And we have been attacked, all of us. I want fight back. Our criminal justice system, in terms of our teenage people, in some cities, if you could walk in and look at how many people are in charge of a kid who's coming in with the suit on, and whatever that kid has done or they've said he's done, how many people, if they did the job correctly on the chain, could make the parents of the child feel better, maybe the kid won't understand it, but the explanations are there. We have places that kids go to, boys, juvenile, and the director said to me of this one place, you know, 70% of our kids are medicated. Okay, give yourself 8 months of taking medication to keep you subdued. And by the way, I told these young fellows who were incarcerated, if you don't feel right, if you want to talk to somebody, go see the psychologist. Afterwards, this woman came to me and said, thanks a lot. There'll be a line all the way around for people to see me. I didn't say anything to her. But my point is, if you drug these people and then you release them and then there's no prescription for them to do the same thing, and they go back to the same place. Now, about this time, this is when you hear the no-gros jump up and say, why don't you talk about the good things? Why don't you? Because the good things happen to be taking care of themselves pretty well. We're trying to help those geniuses, those not geniuses, people who deserve, because they're human beings on this earth, in the United States of America. We're trying to get them in a position so that they will understand and want to.
Why is it so hard for some people to get that message, though, to hear that message, to receive that message, and without lashing out?
Well, it's because they feel, I think they feel embarrassed. I think they feel embarrassed about, you know, Sammy Davis said something to me one day. We were playing in a routine, and I told him I knew something, and he said, no, you don't. And I said, yes, I do. And I said it, and he said, no, that's not the way it goes. And then I said the same thing louder, and he said, Bill, saying it loud don't make it right. And so every loud voice you hear yelling about something and saying, well, you lost us, you became a millionaire. The reason why I'm giving you this information is because I was living in the projects. I was not taking care of myself in terms of managing my education. And once the door opened and I saw quote unquote, the light, I've started to become very successful.
It's such a non-controversial message from my standpoint that it's hard to believe someone really takes issue with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, when he was talking about the juveniles being prescribed drugs in the juvenile facilities, and then
they're benzodiazepines.
Going back on the streets and not having access to the same drugs that they've basically been hooked on by the system. I mean, I'd never heard of that before. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was news to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you drug people up, they're going to comply with you because they're just going to be like, I don't care, that's fine.
Even antidepressants have horrible withdrawal symptoms that make you regret coming off of them and make you want to take them more. Even if they make you feel weird when you take them, when you just suddenly stop taking them, you have horrible withdrawal symptoms. So, antipsychotics and benzos, like you mentioned, and sleeping medication like Ambien. And those sort of drugs have horrible withdrawal symptoms. So, yeah, I can totally understand what he's saying there. We do have a more lighthearted Bill Cosby story that we're going to cover here. Apparently, from what we've read here, Bill Cosby is actually...
A new Cosby show. Bill Cosby returning to NBC to star in a family sitcom.
WNBC.
Now, he's 76 years old, so I hope they don't have long-term plans for this sitcom.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, Bill Cosby...
They have his death already written out in the show if he dies. Oh, shit, Grandpa's dead.
They probably do. I always wonder what they're going to do on Pawn Stars when that old dude dies. If they're just going to, try to replace him with someone else. Like, this is his greedy brother, Todd, or something. Bill Cosby is coming back to your TV, and not just in reruns. Cosby has signed a deal with NBC to star in a new sitcom as the dad of a multi-generational family. Deadline first reported NBC has since confirmed the news to Variety. The untitled series produced by the Cosby Show veteran Tom Warner will be based on Cosby's unique perspective on marriage and parenting. Of course, the Peacock Network is hoping the new series follows the mold of The Cosby Show, Cosby's classic 1984 to 1992 sitcom, which dominated the ratings and made NBC a primetime powerhouse. After the show ended, Cosby briefly returned to sitcoms with CBS's Cosby, which ran from 1996 to 2000.
Yeah, I don't remember Cosby, but I definitely remember The Cosby Show.
Yeah, Cosby was basically the same show with a slightly different cast.
I see.
But it was really not too different, and I don't think that I doubt that this one.
It was their cash-in show, basically.
I doubt this one will be that different, except he'll be like the grandpa of the family.
Yeah, from what I remember, the Cosby Show not only was successful on its own, but it also had at least 2 spin-offs that became their own show eventually.
Yes.
One of them being A Different World, which was another show that I watched. I watched a lot of TV as a kid, so I definitely watch both of those shows on a regular basis.
Damn you, Ben.
Yeah.
Watching them Cosbys.
Like, this is how black people live.
Yeah, I totally
All black
believe
people
it.
are doctors.
What is this?
This is the story about 2 police officers that went on a call to investigate an apartment, and apparently one of them shot and killed the other one. Itchy trigger finger.
Okay. So, yeah.
How the fuck did he shoot him?
A BART police officer was fatally shot by a colleague while conducting a probation search Tuesday afternoon at an apartment in Dublin. The first officer killed in the line of duty in the Transit Police Department's 42-year history, authorities said. The shooting occurred around 2 p.m. while BART and Dublin police officers were at an apartment complex in the 6400 block of the Doherty Road, said Sergeant J.D. Nelson of the Alameda County Sheriff's Office. While inside the apartment, a BART officer fired one shot, wounding a fellow male officer who later died at a hospital. Nelson said details. I'm sorry, I need to get closer to this. Said details of what led to the shooting were not immediately released. Late Tuesday, the Alameda County Coroner's Office confirmed that the slain officer was Sergeant Tom Smith Jr., a 42-year-old veteran with more than 20 years' experience in law enforcement. The officer who fired the fatal bullet had more than 10 years on the force. Nelson said officers were wearing bulletproof vests at the time of the shooting. He did not say where on his body the slain officer was struck.
All right. So I don't care who you are. I don't care how many years you've been on the force. If you accidentally shoot your partner in a potentially hostile situation, you deserve to lose your job and possibly face criminal charges.
It also seems to me that it just shows how itchy some of these cops' trigger fingers really are, where they'll literally just shoot anything that they see out of their peripheral vision. Even
was
like
this just poor planning?
I mean, it could be poor planning, but I mean, like TJ says, I mean, when these cops do these raids, they get pumped up. You hear them on the TV shows. Oh, there might be dangerous criminals inside, and then they breach this building. And they're all high on adrenaline, like, oh my god, we might die. Then anything they see. So, I mean, what probably happened is this guy popped around a corner or saw this guy and just shot him in the head and killed him. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Like, they wear bulletproof vests, they're tactically trained, and this guy was dead. I mean, they shot him in the leg. I mean, that's unlikely. I mean, he was probably shot in the head.
Unless it got, like, his femoral artery or something.
Yeah, I mean, or grazed his neck or something, or, something like that. But, I mean, it's like this adrenaline. I mean, a lot of these guys are adrenaline junkies, and, like, you have to understand when you're filled with adrenaline, you're just going to react. And he just reacted and, killed the guy.
We are continuing a theme here of cops shooting people. This time, it was a cop shooting a cop. Later on, just a little foreshadowing for you, we have another story of a cop shooting someone, too. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
So shocking.
Cops shot someone they weren't supposed to shoot. Just another week in America.
Eventually, yeah, it won't even be a news story anymore.
It doesn't even feel like one now. It's like, hey, what cop shot an innocent person today? Oh, there was only one today? Shit, usually there's 2 or 3.
The only thing that's unique is it's another cop. That's the only thing that really makes it a story. Is that it was friendly fire,
Yeah,
The cops are getting so amped up that they just shoot each other.
The next to be a cop shooting himself.
Yeah, maybe one will shoot his dick off.
What the fuck I asked you for, Henry? I'm asking you for a favor. I do a lot of fucking favors for you, don't I? I'm trying to bang this fucking broad. You want to help me out?
Yeah.
I don't know how that applied.
We'll help you out, Joe Pesci.
Okay, Joe Pesci. Thanks.
Look, it's either me or them. You're getting fucked one way or the other.
All right, that makes sense.
All right.
That was in a prison, so I see the vague relation.
The vague relation.
The vague relation.
The next story we have here is apparently Netflix is putting out a video documentary about the Mitt Romney campaign. And,
Mitt. We're going to see a whole new side of Mitt.
Yeah, so and it's actually called Mitt.
Wait, before we even play it, is the tagline for the movie "You don't know Mitt"?
No, not that I'm aware of, but I wouldn't be surprised. All right, so here's a little excerpt of the trailer for Mitt.
Mitt,
an epic tale of struggle and perseverance.
Do we have a Mitt Romney picture?
You know what? Thanks for reminding me.
Mitt Romney.
Yeah, struggle and perseverance in his mansion.
All right.
I just can't believe you're going to lose. Yeah. So what do you think you say in a concession speech? By the way, someone have a number for the president? I do. Okay. Hadn't thought about that.
And if you don't win, we'll still love you.
It kind of sucks they can't see the trailer, but basically Mitt Romney is sitting around like, man, I guess I need to write a concession speech.
Yeah, with his family, like with his 12 kids.
Yeah, like the night that he lost, like, God, fuck.
I really thought I had it. I
guess I need to...
I was convinced I was going to win.
And then he's like, oh, does anyone have Obama's number?
Yeah.
We need to call him or something, because fuck. Damn.
Fuck.
Thought I had it.
I thought I had that one. That's like, how do you think you have that one?
Karl Rove.
That's like if you throw a bowling ball like up in the air and be like, yeah, it's going down there to hit them pins, and then it conks you on the head. You're like, what happened? I mean, what the fuck? He must Bill Maher does this thing where he talks about Republicans living in the bubble, and I've kind of always been like, well, it's kind of, maybe that's a little bit much, but I guess not.
No.
I guess they do live in a bubble.
Well, a lot of the polls did try to keep it really close. Like the mainstream media polls were like, who will win? Because they're just like, Obama's going to win.
Yeah, but
no one's going to buy the paper.
Anyone who did the real mathematical breakdown was like, no.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney's probably not going to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, they had the breakdowns of massive polling in all of the swing states, the important states. So there was really no doubt in my mind at all. So, yeah, here's a little more of Mitt.
The country may think of you as a laughingstock, and we'll know the truth, and that's okay.
The country may think of you as a laughingstock, and we'll know the truth. But
I don't
that's
even
okay.
think of him as a laughing stock. I just don't think of him. You
Yeah.
know? Like after the election, it's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
The best non-candidate ever.
It was like, hey, maybe this white guy will beat him. Nope. Oh well.
He was the first presidential candidate for either major party in my lifetime that I can remember that was unemployed.
He's
as a
also
major
the
candidate.
he's also the first presidential candidate who has a completely square head.
Yeah.
Like just maybe if you count Howard Dean. But
yeah.
This is a very different setting than any of the debates we've held so far. A dining room conversation is among members of the family. These are all people competing for the same job.
How in the world do we find these things out on the day of the debate?
He hates to disappoint.
Are you going to iron it on? Are you seriously?
It's working. Ouch.
This may not end well.
A recent poll said that 43% of Americans are not even sure who you are.
The flipping Mormon.
How did you feel on the stage?
I was dying.
I would not want to do this again. It's too much.
I have looked, by the way, at what happens to anybody
I know that
loses as the nominee.
I know the Republicans would probably be angry at this, but he really kind of reminds me of Ronald Reagan. Like he has a very Reagan personality where like he just kind of seems like he's just very dimly aware of the present and his head's kind of somewhere else.
I can agree with you there. I still think Reagan was a little more eloquent.
Yeah, Reagan basically won on like I can make a really good folksy speech and
Yeah.
convince everyone like everything's going to be fine.
Whereas Mitt Romney doesn't have that.
No, not at all.
But I mean, like I'm seeing stuff in this that kind of looks like that. So maybe there is a different side to Mitt Romney where you'll watch it and be like, man, I should have voted for old Mitt.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Party. They become a loser for life, all right? All right, it's over.
Barack Obama has changed our race. It's changed our prospect.
By the way, I do want to mention that in this clip, they kind of plug the director and they say from the I think it was Golden Globe nominated director of Undefeated, which, by the way, was the Sarah Palin documentary, who covered Sarah Palin, who lost an election. So why was her election called Undefeated?
Because her spirit was undefeated.
Okay.
He's a very good debater. He's a lot better than the other guys. He's a much more effective debater than they are.
You just get beat up constantly.
He rolls around in the snow.
He's this, he's that.
He's just like me.
I don't roll around in the snow.
Oh man,
that's not like me at all.
That's like trying to convince people that Dan Quayle is smart, all right? You're not going to convince them that Dan Quayle is smart. And maybe I got to live with that. Oh, you flip and everything. In which case, I think I'm a flawed candidate.
Please welcome the next president and first lady.
A year ago, we told you we'd love you no matter how this thing turned out, and
now you're not so sure.
now we're not so sure. Yeah.
Mitch. You don't know Mitch.
That's the director sucking Mitt Romney's
Let's suck Mitt Romney's cock tonight.
I was kind of surprised that this was made into a documentary. I almost feel like the McCain-Palin ticket would have made a better documentary. Both of them together, not necessarily the Undefeated film where it just covered Palin. Because I feel Palin was the less interesting of the two. John McCain and his madness is far more entertaining.
Yeah, I want to see I want to see them remake Citizen Kane with
McCain.
John McCain. They
No.
can call it Citizen McCain.
Let's
With
see.
John McClane, so it's going to be like terrorists trying to like.
No. I want to see.
blow up his,
I want to see
his,
Citizen
newspaper
Kane.
fire.
I want to see him be like Rosebud.
I want to see Citizen Kane with Herman Cain.
999.
I have my 999 plan.
9999999.
And
I don't have facts to back this up.
In dreams, numbers often appear reversed.
by the way,
Reverse 999.
if you call us on Skype, that is insta-ban.
Yeah, you will be banned.
You're insta-glibbed, as in we will kill
You
you.
will be
We'll kill you
banned.
with a gun. And you will
We will
explode.
destroy your guts
You
with
will
our
explode
penises.
to a million pieces.
You will die.
TJ will come and personally rape you.
You will die of my AIDS.
You're gonna spit on them with your AIDS.
No, not spit.
You're not gonna spit. Oh,
Part of them's gonna
Oh.
spit.
Old Faithful.
Next story we have is another cop shooting story.
Cop killer.
Surprise, surprise.
That yeah. So that's the victim or what?
This is the victim right here.
Officer who shot young black man after he was in a car accident will not be indicted.
Makes sense.
Well, why should he be?
He was just defending everyone.
He saw a car crash victim and he did what any of us would have done. Shoot him down.
Yeah.
The police officer who shot and killed Jonathan Farrell after the former football player was in a car accident and banged on doors asking for help will not be indicted on voluntary manslaughter charges, a grand jury ruled Tuesday. The grand jury asked the prosecutor to submit a lesser charge for Charlotte police officer Randall Carrick, who shot at Farrell 12 times, hitting him 10 times, but family lawyers told BuzzFeed there is no applicable lesser charge. Farrell was unarmed, had no criminal record, and a November toxicology report showed that blood alcohol level was not over the legal limit. Farrell's family was incensed and extremely disappointed with the grand jury decision. Well, you know, I mean, come on, it's a cop.
This cop, you know what? This cop needs a trip to Disney World, all expenses paid, for doing such a good job keeping us safe
Look,
in society.
if an unarmed man who's clearly injured is asking for help, the only rational course of action is to shoot at him 12 times.
12 fucking
Let me just
times.
here. Let's just listen to the sound of 12 times.
It was limited by the, like, I'm sure he has like a 9mm, so it's basically limited to the magazine.
Yeah, so basically,
He unloaded an entire
he emptied the magazine at this person who was harmless.
Yeah, I mean, possibly injured as well.
Probably. Well, why else would he be banging on doors for help?
The problem was that he went to the house of someone he didn't know for help. He had just been in a car accident. That person called the police on him, and then the cop came and shot him and killed him. And this person, he was a college football player, and he was also a college graduate. I think it's pretty strange that he would be profiled this way. Well, I don't find it strange. I just find it disgusting.
And this was in Florida?
Yes.
Or where was it?
Almost every story like this is in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck is wrong with Florida? If you're from Florida,
Let's see. Is this from Florida? Go up the thing here.
Let's see.
Is it a Florida story? Because does it say?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if this happened in Florida or not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But
if it was
anyway,
Florida.
still, even what the fuck is wrong? No. This was in Charlotte.
Okay, Charlotte, North Carolina.
I still want to say what the fuck is wrong with Florida, though.
Yeah, what is wrong with Florida? Because, like,
Florida,
usually when you hear about any story like infant tasered to death by police, you're like, Florida, and it always is. Tampa. Oh, it happened in Tampa. Big shot.
It must be all the humidity. I don't know.
I think it's just that I think Florida is just like us testing out, like, hey, what would it be like to live in a police state? Oh, let's just make Florida a police state, then we'll know.
On the plus side, they have really cheap seafood.
Yeah. And Disney World. And Disney World is an even bigger police state than Florida.
It's like
It's a small
It's
world,
like the Fourth
after
Reich.
all.
It's a small world for Disney to conquer.
And charge you $37 for a bottle of water.
You want water? You pay.
That'll be €37, or we beat you to death.
So, I mean, is there not as much outrage over this shooting as the movie theater shooting because the victim is black? Is it the crime of being in public while black?
I think it's just that. I think it's just like the endless capacity of morons to forgive police.
Okay.
Really, I mean, it's just like if cops do something, it's like, well, that cop, you got to give cops the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, he saw some.
They're just here protecting.
You know what they're going to say? We saw some guy running at someone's house and banging on the door. Probably thought he was trying to break in.
It was reasonable at that point to assume that he was the most dangerous criminal demon mastermind ever.
And unload a magazine into him.
Because he is probably an invincible Superman who could otherwise bring great harm to our people.
Yeah.
The Negroid race is like Incredible Hulks, but black. So you got to put them down quick.
Yeah. Wow.
Otherwise, they will rape all your white women's. And it will be bad.
And there will be no ice cream for you.
Oh, no.
I love ice cream.
What else we got?
Well, that's actually it for now. We have a break. So what we're going to ask all of you now to do is if you haven't sent us a contact request on Skype yet, please do so. Send us your contact request to Drunken Peasants on Skype. Just do a search for us. You'll find us.
And if you want to be on the show when we come back, we will call you. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Yes.
But write to us and let us know you want to be on the show. And I'm going to say this as well. If you want to be on the show, have something to say or ask or fucking some statement to make, whether it's about something that's happening in your life or whether it's about some news story going on or whether it's just a silly question. Yeah. But have something better than I'm just sitting around picking my butthole.
Just to add to that,
I'm doing my homework.
Send us your questions through a message on Skype. During the break, we'll read through your questions. We'll pick the best ones. We'll give you a call. Tip number 1, turn down your computer. Talk to us through your headphones or something like that. Don't listen to us through the computer. There's a delay.
All right. I think we got all the boring messages out of the way.
That's just something that's been a problem.
And make sure you have a line of cocaine ready to snort.
Yeah.
Yep. So we will be right back on the Drunken Peasants podcast. Send us your questions through Skype, and we will read through them during the break and pick the best one.
Smoke pan every day.
Hey, 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 hey.
Mann, die Wi-Fi non-stop von this up.
Welcome back to the Drunken Peasants podcast. We're going to take some calls from our audience now. We got a lot of questions. We went through a few of them. We picked the ones, well, technically TJ picked the ones that he liked
Fucking
best.
goddamn TJ.
Yeah.
Making
so-
all the decisions for us.
All right, so we're going to give someone a call right now here. Here we go.
Let's call a person.
Oh shit.
Yep.
TJ's shaking. He's scared.
Let's call a human and talk to them.
About drugs.
Jeff. Answer your phone, Jeff.
Answer your phone, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi.
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 What's your question, my man?
All right. So, what do you want me to ask? Do you want drugs or Rob Ford?
Drugs. And Rob Ford is the same thing as drugs.
Yeah, Rob Ford is drugs.
He's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yeah. you
We'll
know,
do
that's
both. Just ask the drug one.
Okay, so when I get high, specifically on Pan, I get kind of racist, and by racist I mean I'm a not racist guy, and I ended up carving "niggers hang here" into a tree trunk.
Wow. And
Yeah.
and you have no
As
internal racist feelings whatsoever.
No, I don't.
Well, let me
Well,
ask you: as you were carving it in the tree, were you really thinking like, "Man, I sure hate black people"?
No, not really.
So you were just, I mean, like, I'm thinking maybe you're just doing this for, like, you know, shock value or something.
Yeah,
it
is
was
it
his
like
brainstem.
I think he might be trolling.
He was just in brainstem mode. He's like, I'm just gonna freaking carve this into a tree just because I can.
You know, graffiti was the first trolling. So like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think you were just trying to get people to get pissed off by whatever you wrote.
Yeah, and you know, you asked me in the text here what you know, if any strange things happen to us when we get high. If I'm high enough, especially if I haven't smoked in a while, I can get super paranoid. Like, I don't think I actually heard things. Like, I'll hear like little like sounds outside, and I'll imagine that someone's like knocking on the door. Or, you know, like I'll hear like a breeze outside, or like I'll hear like
do
a
you remember that
helicopter
one time-
flying overhead and assume that it's like circling the house
Hey,
or
TJ,
something.
do you remember that one time you and Ben were like smoking up, and like I went for a walk, and I knocked on the door, and you guys were like, "It's the fucking police!" Oh my god, we're fucked.
I overanalyze things, but no, Hold on. Okay. Oh no. I think we're back.
Guess who's back?
Yeah. Sorry. It says we're back live. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but whatever.
That was just weird and random.
What is this you and thing?
Are we two different people now?
I
don't
guess.
know.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, go.
I don't know.
What was your other question?
Okay, so what's your opinion on this whole Rob Ford thing? You know, him going off on some rage-induced, rant, possessing as a Jamaican.
I don't know. I mean, I never saw him doing the Jamaican thing. So,
but it was all over the news this morning.
I think the only thing that I saw in the news this morning was the whole Justin Bieber thing. But
yeah,
Jamaica, I don't know. Like, he's a fat white dude, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of strange for him to just go off on like a Jamaican tangent.
Yeah, a Jamaican tangent.
It's like,
yeah,
come on.
He was screaming in a Jamaican accent on a table.
Maybe he was eating some Jamaican
Actually,
food.
I believe it was a table.
And he felt a kindred spirit with the
Oh,
food,
no.
and the
Some
food
weird
possessed him to become Jamaican.
Down in Jamaica where the blues were
That
born.
jerk chicken possessed me. Oh God.
There are a lot of Jamaicans that live in Canada, though, so that's not very surprising.
Oh, I know.
Especially in Ontario.
Yes, absolutely. You and I, Scotty, have both been to Ontario, the GTA area of Ontario, many times.
I don't go to shitholes like Ontario.
Yeah, shitholes. Anyway, yeah. So anything else you can think of that you want to ask us, feel free to ask away.
Okay.
No pressure.
Ask a good question now.
Do it now. Get to the
TJ.
chopper. Get down. Grab my hand.
TJ,
Yeah.
can I suck your guy?
No.
All right. Goodbye. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link.
You are the
Yeah.
weakest link.
Farewell.
Bad question.
Fare thee well.
We gave you the opportunity to ask a good question.
We gave you the
He
opportunity.
choked. He's like, can I suck your dick?
Like, could I, like, suck your dick?
No
We're
homo,
gonna go ahead
man.
and call
no
our next
homo.
person here that had a good question. Bravo to you. This is someone that we've talked to before. We're gonna give him a call here.
We've never talked to this person.
No,
before.
we've talked to him before.
Hey,
All right.
cousin Danny.
We're calling Lucifer.
This is my cousin.
Your cousin.
This is my cousin.
Hi, cousin Danny.
Cousin. He's not answering. He's a piece of shit.
If he doesn't, all right. Here
There he is.
Hello?
Hello.
Greetings.
Hey, I just wanted to ask, because you basically said that all morality should be like consent-based, right?
That's my basic view.
All right, so there's this hypothetical situation where at some point in the future we'll be able to design what our babies will look like.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be ethical for a parent to decide what their child will look like, considering that they are unable to consent to it? Or
Yeah,
is it really
I think
a non-issue?
I think that this is probably a debate that will happen in my lifetime.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know exactly how I feel about that. I think that perhaps using that power to avoid serious hereditary illness or deformity, things like that, would be a viable use. I don't know when it starts to get to things like trying to control the proclivities that might arise within a person, or trying to design a temperament that would be most convenient for you. I think when it gets into that territory, that's when it really kind of, I don't know if that's ethical or not.
Yes.
It's a very difficult question, because I mean it's not really in the same vein as like the circumcision thing, where your body is created one way and then it's altered. This is where you're altered, as you're being created. This is going around and messing with the blueprints of a human being.
Well, I feel like that it's okay when it's just on a visual level, but if they're trying to specify personality or something like that, then I think that goes a little beyond it. But I don't really have a problem with parents deciding what color their children's eyes are and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean that's all pretty superficial.
The question is too: would it be viviparous birth, or would it be like just totally like a total designer human, where it's like grown in the lab?
Also, that kind of is on the same vein with being transgendered, I think. At least that's where my question comes from. Like, what if the parent chooses to have a male or a female, but then their child winds up, thinking that they don't belong in that specific
I mean, it's a very
tough luck for them.
It's a very real risk because there's the human brain is a very complicated thing. I mean, it's more complicated than anything else that we have to deal with on a daily basis, other than maybe the cosmos. And who has to deal with that other than astrophysicists? We all have to interact with our fellow brains.
There have been instances, medical abnormalities where, people have been born with vaginas but have still had testicles inside of their bodies. They had lived their whole lives as women, and they're very feminine looking, but technically they are men. So, I mean, things like that will happen naturally, no matter what. So if someone,
but if it's done through human meddling, then we kind of have to take a whole new level of responsibility for it.
Yeah.
I mean, because if everyone knows that nature can fuck up, will fuck up. There's always going to be aberrations and abnormalities.
Well, it's kind of like like how they breed the foxes, and the domesticated fox, and the ears start to droop and it starts to change. I mean,
yeah.
With the same, I'm sure the same thing would happen to humans in some respects. I mean, just because you try to engineer something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go just as you expect.
My stance on the issue is I'm okay with the superficial changes, hair color, eye color, what have you, that sort of thing, height. I'm okay with that, but messing with other things like the gender of the child or
This
the mentality
seems-
of the child, I'm against that. But
But
very good question.
This
Thanks
seems
for the
like
question.
something you'd have to wade into as a society to kind of like, let's see how this goes as we introduce it step by step. But knowing us, we'll probably be like, designer babies, the new craze, and then we'll have like, we'll end up creating like Khan or something.
They already do it with dogs, so
Yeah,
I
we'll get them all
agree with
Soma.
you that this is only, this is the not too distant future here.
Also, this is not really so much an ethical issue, but if you could retroactively alter your genetic makeup for a certain character trait that you would perhaps value more in yourself, would you, or would you just choose to stay the course?
Oh wow, I would probably want to be taller and probably higher metabolism.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to be like, be naturally athletic rather than just like frumpy and fat.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there's very few people that would just stay the course and say, well, these are my genetics, I just accept it, I can be improved, but I would rather not be.
well, good for you, Scotty.
I didn't say that was my
Good
opinion.
for you,
I said that I can.
jerk.
There's very few people that would be
Yeah,
like that.
Scotty thinks he's so great.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Well, I mean, the truth hurts, TJ, I'm sorry.
The truth does hurt, but so does the lie that you're good.
The lie.
Okay, let's talk to someone else.
All right, thanks, man.
Bye, Daniel.
Yeah, thanks for the question. All right, so
Who's
yeah,
next?
That was a pretty good question, though. Honestly,
A good series of questions.
A series of questions which are good and not shitty. We need to call someone random now and have a shitty call. This guy has a million questions.
yeah. So this will probably take 2 to 3 hours, I think. Here.
I
There we
think,
go.
TJ, you should become a hot dog vendor. I think that's your goal in life that you just passed up and really have not thought about.
That's like the dream that I've had that I've never.
You'll be like Confederacy of Dunces. You'll eat all your own product, though.
I know.
But it'll be okay.
It's my unfulfilled dream of life. Come on, Matthew.
It's funny because
I think
this person,
I think I can.
this person had like 200 questions. It was like a fucking novel that he wrote to us, and now we're
He
calling
sent us
him and
War
he's
and
not even
Peace,
answering.
and now he's gone.
He said his war. He said his peace, and now he's resting in peace.
Now he's deceased.
Yes, he's dead.
All right.
This
You
guy.
had your-
This guy died of AIDS.
Okay.
Everyone
All
has
right, so-
AIDS. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
I gave him my AIDS, and he died.
And then, my friend.
You
Yeah.
die. We need to find.
Now we're gonna call Ghostbusters. All right.
Now we're calling someone else.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I have a question.
Okay.
So today I was at school and I brew my own pop. Well, this happened a while ago.
Mhm.
I brew my own pop from scratch with water, yeast, and what makes the pop.
So when you say pop, you mean soda, right?
Yeah, soda.
Okay.
And I brought it to school, and I had it with my lunch. And my teacher came over, and she's like, "Oh, how do you make it?" And I said, "Well, I get water, yeast, and put my whatever ingredients I need into there." And she's like, "Kyle, I'm not dumb. That makes alcohol." And you need a barley, it's like an oat, like potatoes and rye and stuff to make alcohol. And she was completely ignorant, and then she forcefully took the bottle from me after somebody asked if they could have a sip. She said, "Do not share it. You're not allowed to share this." Took it from me and told me I could get it in the office later. And they called my mom too to ask her about if I brought alcohol to school.
So why do you brew your own instead of just going to the store or whatever?
It's more of a hobby because I think it tastes better too. It's a more quality pop in my opinion.
Yeah, send me some.
So what do you use, like SodaStream or something like that?
No, straight up water. get purified water, put it in a 5-gallon bucket, get some yeast, put it in the bucket, get some additives such as cream soda. They come in these little vials with the ingredients, and you mix it all in. And then
Vials, you hear him? He's a fucking drug dealer. I knew it. Anyway,
yeah, you're not making alcohol, you're making meth.
Yeah. Anyway,
It sounds like a moonshine operation.
But I just wanted your guys' opinion about how do you think she handled the situation irrationally?
No.
Or
Absolutely not. If it didn't have any alcohol in it, then why the fuck would she care? Why? Well, it's just a stupid person. Apparently, this person got a degree in education and decided that they were really smart, and they were like, hey, I'm an authority on what's alcohol and what's not, even though I have no fucking clue.
This is alcohol. Did she taste it or anything? Like, give it like the taste test to see if it really was?
You could smell alcohol, especially if he made it. You would, because he probably wouldn't be able to filter out like the methanol and everything properly. So it would smell.
Even pure vanilla extract has alcohol in it.
Yeah.
It's not like you drink it and get drunk off it. You fucking throw up from so much of it.
Yeah, I actually, and it's not like I was trying to hide it either. I actually showed her the bottle, and I was enthusiastic about it too. I'm like, yeah, I make it myself at home, and I put all the ingredients, and she's like, no, it's alcohol.
Yeah. So you would brew your own alcohol rather than just like pouring some Jack Daniels into something.
You would brew your own alcohol and bring it to school and brag about it to teachers.
Yeah.
Hey, teach, I'm drinking. How you doing? Look at me drink.
Makes perfect sense. She should be teacher of the fucking year. She's a fucking genius.
Teacher of the beer.
Yeah, and then today at school we had a natural gas leak. Our school was built in 1923, and there was a natural gas leak in the kitchen. One of the pipes or something messed up, and we went outside. And in the freezing cold, there were teachers arguing about if there's another school right next to ours, and we were going to emergency evacuate into there because it was so cold outside. And we line up with our homeroom class, and they're marked where by the bus numbers. They were completely covered in snow. Nobody could find their homeroom teacher. And last year the policy was you're allowed to talk unless it's a real emergency. Then you're not allowed to talk. So everybody's still talking like crazy. Everybody's yelling, having a good time. Half the people didn't even know it was a real fire until the fire department showed up, or the natural gas leak.
And then the school exploded and everyone died.
But we ended up going into the school, and then they said we could start talking again. People were using their phones and telling their parents all these stories, and it was just mass pandemonium because nobody could do anything. They couldn't, nobody could function. Teachers were arguing whether we had to get in our lines or we were just going to file into the other school.
I think the teachers should have made the students fight like gladiators.
It's pretty amazing how quickly things break down in an actual emergency situation. Like we have this big plan.
These plans, it's like the school bombing plans. Like, oh, someone's going to call in a bomb threat, so we're going to tell everyone where we're going to go. So all they have to do is call in the bomb threat, wait for them to go to the actual location, and then kill everyone or kill a large portion of the people.
It'd be such a strange misdirection. Why not just blow up the school while they're actually in it and just not call in the threat?
That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make any sense. But I mean, but that's just the way that people think.
Who puts a bomb in a school and then
calls
it in like, hey, just letting you guys know I'm gonna blow this school up.
Well, people commonly do it because they're gonna miss a test or something, so they call up and say, okay, I know the school will be delayed, and then I'll make it there, and then I'll be able to take
shit. That assignment's due today. Fuck.
Better call in a bomb.
Call the school. Let them know.
There's a bombing today.
I'm gonna blow your asses up. Blow you to fucking kingdom come.
That actually happened because this one kid was sick, and he had so many sick days. It was in elementary school. And if he had one more sick day, he would have had to repeat the grade. So he called in for a school bombing.
Yeah, they see that happens.
It's ridiculous.
He had his priorities straight. Going to jail or juvenile hall or whatever is not That's no big deal. But missing that one day, that's worth it.
Yeah, but the school, like, our policy is we have to go find our home room. It would be so much more efficient if we stayed with our actual class. I mean, I don't see the logic in going straight with your homeroom. You got to file in quietly, and then you're only allowed to talk if it's not an emergency.
Yes, during this emergency, without communicating with one another, please find your homeroom class, even when the designated areas are covered with snow and it's impossible to see where you're supposed to go.
All right, yeah, but to be honest with you, TJ recently made a video about how high school sucks, and this is just kind of outlining that.
Yeah, I mean, this is just look. This is like another case where we're talking to a student who has more common sense than anyone on the fucking faculty.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you know, I couldn't wait to get out of high school, and you know, I graduated from high school in 1999, and I've never been like, gee, I wish I was still in high school. So
I actually am in middle school right now. I'm
okay.
14. I'm actually trying to skip high school after the stories I've heard.
I wouldn't blame you.
I'm a straight A student, athlete.
Yeah, which sports do you play?
Football, lacrosse, wrestling, and track.
Lacrosse. I played lacrosse because I was good at hockey, and lacrosse is like a whole different animal than hockey. It looks similar, but it's you know, you can get whacked with a stick way more easily.
TJ played cowbell.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you for your call. We'll call you again sometime. Keep it up with the good questions, and we're going to move on to someone else here.
Someone with shitty questions.
I'm going to see if this person... Oh, no, they're not.
They're not on.
Okay.
They're dead.
We should have a fight between TJ Drink Soda and
Here's
TJ
the
Fox
thing.
Things.
I've been looking at our stats online. It says we have a 9% female fan base, and I just want to have one of our female fans as a guest on the show. So if you're a female...
I think they're too smart for that.
I know, it sucks.
That's got to be what the problem is. It's like, I see how these guys treat these other guys. Like, fuck this.
No, we'll be nice to the female caller.
I won't.
TJ will ask you what you're wearing.
I'll be nice.
What are you wearing?
And why isn't it me?
Let's see. We got
Patrick.
That
looks like garbage.
Yeah, Patrick, you are garbage. I'm very sorry. You will not make it on the show.
Are we calling Patrick?
Yeah, he said oi, which makes me think he's probably in the UK or...
Oi!
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 Hello.
Oi!
Hello.
Hello. Where are you from?
I'm in Ohio.
No, you're not. You lying sack of shit.
I live in Warren, Ohio.
Warren, Ohio.
War and Peace. What's up, Patrick?
Well, I wanted to ask TJ why he likes Pawn Stars so much, because I've seen some of his videos. He talks about how he likes it.
It's like a guilty pleasure thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I fully acknowledge that it's stupid and it's completely fake.
We just get really baked and we're like, what's going to happen on Pawn Stars?
But
it's so fake.
I treat it like a sitcom. I know it's complete bullshit, but, you know, I think it's kind of funny. I like seeing the items. I like seeing, like, the little history they put behind it and stuff. And, you know, I mean, it's a good show to just watch with your brain turned off, because, like, there's annoying characters on it, but it's not like Honey Boo Boo annoying or anything.
I hate how they rip people off. They're like, well, I know this is very valuable, but I'm going to try and rape this motherfucker. And
they're probably a lot nicer with the cameras there. I'd imagine I'd imagine that with no cameras around, they'd probably be trying to...
I can give you a quarter for the...
Yeah, I'll give you a quarter for this.
I absolutely hate whenever someone comes in with something.
I always like... My favorite thing is always when they tell you beforehand, like, what they're not going to take. Like, lowest I take is $900. Then they end up selling it for, like, $200 or something.
Give me $300, man. That's the best I can do.
You know, this is
$100
the market... The market is really bad right now. It's just, you know.
Could you maybe bump it up to 500? 350 is the best I can do. 350. 350.
Good question, though. We're going to move on to someone else. It was nice having you on the show here. You know, I actually did find someone that says that they're a female listener. We're going to bring them on the line. If you're not female, we're just gonna hang up. Well, if you know what though, if you do a convincing female voice, maybe not.
Yeah, then it doesn't matter because we
All
won't
right.
know.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Francesca.
What if it's a female with a
Hello,
very manly
Francesca.
voice? What if she answers and it's like, "Hey guys," but that's a real girl voice.
Yeah, maybe.
She's not answering.
Hello.
Hello.
So, my question is, well, it's more of like a statement right now. So, I'm a feminist.
Uh-huh.
Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I like Sucker Punch because
Okay, yeah, hold on. Okay. No, go ahead.
So, I like Sucker Punch. I like video games, and I don't really give a crap whether guys see girls as sexual objects or not.
So you
Sex.
disagree with
Fair.
Anita Sarkeesian then?
Yeah, like that general sort of just insane feminist.
Uh-huh.
But my question, well, statement right now is that I see feminism more as like a step towards humanism rather than like women are the most superior type gender in the world and all men should bow down.
Well, I think
So-
I think maybe you should come up with a new word for it instead of feminism.
Yeah, because I mean, well, the problem is like feminism has such a history, and it's you know it kind of like it's gone through so many different waves and revisions. I mean, it's kind of like Christianity at this point. It's splintered into probably really like 50 or 60 different core ideologies and then a bunch of little subsets. So I mean, it's really kind of like hard to even peg down what feminism is, which is why every time I make a video about feminism, I have feminists tell me that's not what feminism is. That's not what it's about. Well, I'm reacting to material that I find out
There's
there.
so many varied connotations on feminism at this point. It's impossible to just pin it down to one, where it's like this is all what this represents all feminist or all whatever. So I mean, you're really going to run into that with any ideology that's especially still on the kind of like getting fringed and pushed and pulled around by different groups trying to capitalize on the word.
Oh god, it's just not like I see your videos, TJ,
Mhm.
and like the ones with the Tumblr feminists and stuff, and they're insane. They're absolutely insane.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you have to realize, too, that, I mean, for a lot of these people who go to go to Tumblr, I mean, like, I see these posts, these are not, like, little posts with, like, 1,000 notes or something. These posts, I see these posts with, like, 500,000 notes sometimes.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, it's like...
It's a knee-jerk reaction. It's like, oh, I'm part of this ideology. I must agree.
So, I mean, like, for a lot of people, the feminist label is just slapped on whatever they're complaining about this week, and so, I mean, like, I guess the label is pretty tainted. I mean, I can understand, and I can understand where you're coming from, that you want this to be more of a transition towards a more humanist, egalitarian thing. But I think that the word itself has just had too much. It's just been dragged through too much mud. Not even by people like me, but by the proponents of a very exclusionary idea of feminism,
Yeah,
which is
radical feminism.
Yeah, which is this really like men are have some inherent rape sort of drive or something, and every TV show has to have like adequate female character representation, whether it makes sense to the plot or not. And I mean, I can agree that there are certain situations where it is kind of ridiculous that the female characters aren't represented to an adequate degree. But I mean, I don't think the solution. I don't think the solution is like, let's go in there with this hammer called feminism and just bash these motherfuckers over the head. To me, like, let's have a discussion. Let's talk about this, but let's talk about it on terms that everyone can kind of agree on, and sit down at the table and say, like, let's really have a conversation about this, since we're living in a world that's has changed
but the radical
significantly.
people are not going to come to the table on those kinds of discussions.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
going to be like, you're wrong. That's it. That end of story.
Like, what I find so like fascinating about most of them is their lack of ability to just listen to facts. of just understand someone else rather than just say, I am a feminist.
It's an ideology. Facts are not necessary. It's just belief.
Well, I mean, and this is something that's
obedience.
In no way exclusive to feminism or
Not at
radical
all.
feminism. This is people who put their ideologies over rational, empirical sort of thought, who don't care about what the facts are, who don't care about what any sort of study says, who don't care about what data might indicate. People like that, it's because they place the ideology above that. And if something in reality contradicts the ideology, they default to the ideology, not to reality.
Yeah,
And,
cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, and it's a pretty dangerous place to be, especially when, this is kind of going off topic, but like the Christian right who are science deniers and yet who live a life that's built around modern science. And that is what you're talking about, like cognitive dissonance.
So I have a question for you. When a guy asks you if you want to have coffee, do you automatically assume he wants to have sex?
Well, I'm a lesbian, so
Oh, okay.
either way, fuck
Well-
off.
You just be like, fuck off, dude.
But
It's
if
not
a,
happening.
if a girl asks you if you want to have coffee, do you assume that means she wants to have sex?
Yeah. You turn around the same way.
Well, like, if that leads to that, then whatever, but it's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have sex with her now because she asked me for coffee. That it's not a logical assumption.
That is not a very logical
Yeah,
jump.
so you can probably disagree with the atheism plus people more than
Oh
likely.
god, like when they add the labels together, it's just a big clusterfuck. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, so I would have to say, I mean, feminism, the term in its origins was a great term, but I think someone like yourself, maybe because the people who are feminists now have hijacked that term. Honestly, I think you need a better term. I don't even know what it is, so it's hard for me to say you need to find a new term because I can't give you a better one. But I think it's just different now. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of like how the word liberal is like a bad term.
Yeah, or another word, environmentalist. That's another one they've
Yep,
turned into
yep.
a negative word.
Yeah, a lot of conservatives like, you're an environmentalist. You just want to.
All right, Francesca. Francesca, thank you for your call. We're going to move on to another caller, but we appreciate you calling in.
It's great to have a female on. Honestly, I thought all of our listeners were men.
And if you if you seduce any other girls, get them to call in too.
Thank you. All right. So,
are we going to take more?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, we can do more. Do you want to take a break and do a whole like send us a message thing again?
No, I say like let's just do it.
Okay.
The gods shall decide.
Just
But
pick.
none of us believe in gods, but still, the gods shall decide.
Let's see what these people want.
Let's call this person.
They want hookers and ice cream.
Let's do it. They have
Roxo says you need cocaine.
they have boobs as their
According to the picture, it'll be like, hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hello. Hello. I can hear myself talking in the background.
What are you wearing?
Is this a troll? Hi, troll.
Oh, troll hung up on us.
Troller.
Time to move on.
Let's see. What does Jeffrey Trigger want?
Jeffrey Trigger wants to blow you away. He's gonna blow your mind.
It's a Starman. Not that one.
Where is it?
He's up there. Right there.
That guy right there. Yeah.
What is he saying?
Stupid bullshit. We'll call him.
He knows Dr. Roxo, Scotty. So.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, you also Dr. Roxo.
Yeah, that's Scotty that keeps doing that. Doesing that. Did I say Scotty keeps doing that?
I does
still
that.
here.
Scotty keeps doing that.
I does that all the time.
Hey.
What?
Oh, hey guys. I was just
You were just what?
I was just, looking on the CNN, and I was reading it. The Kansas court said that sperm donor must pay child support.
What? Fuck.
What a joke.
That totally negates the donor part of it.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, who wants to donate their sperm when it's like you can be held liable for this, even though we specifically say you're not going
It's
to
like
be, and that's
I'm
the whole
gonna
purpose
jerk.
behind it.
I'm gonna jerk off into a cup, and then you're gonna freeze it and let someone squirt it into them.
Yeah.
And then I'm responsible for that? No. There has to be some real sexual
That's
relations
completely
going
ridiculous.
on for me to be responsible for anything.
That's like if you sell someone a gun and they use it to shoot someone
Then you're charged
else,
with
then
murder.
you're charged with murder. That's like what that is equivalent to.
What they're saying is because they didn't go to the doctor. Like, he was just, like, on Craigslist or whatever, and these people were like, oh, I want sperm.
But there was a verbal agreement that this would not be, like, pursued,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So, fuck
But
that.
The problem with
Yeah,
verbal
the
agreements is
fucked
that
up shit here is, like, the ladies broke up, right? And then, like, the one lady who I guess got the kids was like, oh, I got sick. So, like, now I want him to pay for my baby. This
Wow.
What to say? The problem with a verbal agreement is generally a verbal agreement will, basically an agreement to make any illegal agreement has to be two parties have to agree to terms, which that would be one. If the problem is he probably never got anything right.
But, guys, don't sell your sperm on Craigslist.
Yeah, don't sell your sperm on Craigslist.
Yeah, I think
Ironically
that's the lesson
enough-
to be learned here.
Ironically enough, I know a guy who donated sperm to a lesbian couple. It wasn't from Craigslist. They were friends of his, but they did put it in writing, make it all
Yeah.
nice and legal. And he jerked off in a cup for them, and they gave him a PlayStation 3.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
Sounds like a good trade-off. Jerk off into a cup and here's your PS3.
He's done it twice.
Did he get any games too?
He got yeah. Well,
Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yeah.
For a cup of sperm. Sweet.
and they it was successful too. Like, they did have a baby and shit like that, and everything's all nice and legal and cordial. They're all friends, whatever. He's not responsible for anything. So I guess the moral of the story is don't
Be smart.
I mean, if you got paid for that sperm donation, which in some places that you do get paid, at that point, there's no liability there. It's an anonymous donation. But if you're donating sperm to people so that they can have a baby, whether it be a homosexual couple that wants to have a baby or you're just
They're infertile, whatever.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Whatever the case may be, get it in writing.
Yes.
Get it in writing first.
And
avoid
Craigslist.
Yeah, don't meet
Craigslist
us.
is a bad idea. That's just a categorically bad idea.
Like pretty much any situation in life where you're like, I'm gonna do something on Craigslist. Like, that's pretty much always bad idea.
How does this work? Is it like casual encounters? I feel like donating some sperm today.
Yeah, like what section of Craigslist was this even advertised on?
I don't even know.
That kind of shit is out there. Prostitution, everything you can imagine.
But
is out there.
sperm donor, I mean, come on, that's just weird.
And this guy, he was determined to do it. He donated 3 cupfuls of sperm gratis to the women, according to this article.
Holy shit!
And these were big beer steins
I'm wondering
too.
if they were looking for certain genetics in a father, and he met those, because the guy that I knew, he met certain genetic criteria as far as his intellect and his physicality, and that's how he got into the business of sperm donating. I think he's done like 3 of them.
and he has 3 PlayStation 3s now.
he's got some.
I don't
nice
know.
stuff.
I don't know if any genetic criteria that allows someone who will have like jerk off into a cup for you to conceive in exchange for a PS3 is really that stringent of a test.
It's
just
like
putting
height,
that out
it's things
there.
like height, hair color, your build. It's all these just different things they use for the actual clinics.
I want a man who will jerk off into a cup for a PS3.
That's the way to
He
go.
was
I
gonna
mean,
do it anyway,
I would
so
be
I
the
mean-
easiest.
Yeah,
I'd
but
be the easiest sperm donor ever.
If
Give me a PS3.
See, so you meet the criteria too.
Dude, you should become a sperm
I could.
donor.
He lit right up when I said that. I heard him say, "Man, that's a good deal. Where can I find someone to do that for me?" But it was great to have you on the air. It was a great question. We're gonna let you go or find someone else now. Have a good night.
Someone better.
As you hang up, someone better.
The
I
best
feel
man.
pretty.
The better
Oh, so
man.
pretty.
Someone sexier. Like Spaceman.
Space Ghost.
It's funny because his face looks like a watermelon. It doesn't look like a spaceman.
That's racist.
You're racist.
You
Hey, spaceman. Yo, what up, dog?
You racist spaceman.
Hey guys.
Hey. How is
I have some questions for you.
Okay, what are your questions?
What are your questions, David?
What's up?
Are you pretty?
Well, I was gonna ask how you feel about Louis C.K., the comedian.
Okay,
'Cause
I think
I
he's-
remember a while ago, TJ smashed Daniel Tosh, which I really liked because I hate that guy.
Yeah,
So
Daniel
I just want
Tosh.
to know what you think about Louis C.K.
I like Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. is pretty awesome.
I think he's
Daniel
pretty.
Tosh
I think
kinda
it's.
sucks.
I think it's pretty funny how he can take like the most miserable and depressing of experiences and turn it into something that's funny that everyone can kind of like relate to and be like, yeah, everyone's pretty much been in that situation. And it's. I mean, like, you know, you would think there'd be nothing fresh left on that fucking vine, but he seems to like find it time and time again. So I have pretty much nothing but nice things to say about Louis C.K.
He does that pretty well. Also, TJ, I noticed you were doing green screens in your latest videos.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep doing that for a long time, or do you eventually want to have like real like backgrounds? Like, do you actually want to go places and have like nice looking things in the background?
Well, you know, I mean, I kind of want to vary it up. I've been doing the green screen a lot lately because I'm trying to learn it. But, you know, I definitely like the visual look of a real background, too. So
And I mean, it's winter time too, so in Ohio,
Yeah.
it's not the best location shooting.
it's been like
Yeah.
freezing ass, like your balls, you know, coming up into your body so far that they're like touching your nipples.
Yeah.
You know, it's no good. It's bad times. But yeah, I mean, I don't plan on just doing like completely green screen now. But you know, I like it as a tool, especially because you know I can do things like just make the background like entirely black, which I've always liked the effect. Or I can put whatever I want in the background.
And by the way, just a sneak peek into this. I'm not going to say too much, but TJ and I are working on a musical project.
Yeah.
That we'll be putting out eventually here. Music is a lot more work than podcasts and that sort of stuff, but it should be interesting.
Well, that sounds fucking radical.
Yeah.
Radical, bro. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You got anything else you want to ask before we let you go here?
Yeah, I just want to ask one more question for TJ.
Sure.
You haven't done any videos on your gameplay channel in a while,
Yeah.
and I was wondering if you were gonna pick it up anytime soon.
You know, I'm sure I'll probably return to the gaming thing at some point. I'm just so busy right now with other projects. But, you know, we were even thinking about maybe doing some Drunken Peasants plays or something.
Yeah, that's definitely in the works.
Or just like, you know, I definitely want to do some gaming-related stuff. I maybe think maybe that channel wasn't the right way to go with it. But you'll definitely be seeing more of that from me in the future.
We're going to go with vintage games, and we have plenty of them to go through, and plenty of hilarious shit.
Yeah, we'll fucking we're gonna definitely bring that back in some form or another. That's not dead.
Yeah, I got a suggestion if you guys want to bring that back. I remember a while ago this guy brought up Starbound on the podcast.
Starbound, yeah.
Yeah, that is a really good multiplayer game, and if you guys are gonna do that, you should definitely give it a go.
So what is with this? We have like the Starbound sales team on our
Yeah.
Skype list or something.
By the way, guys, just to mention, Starbound, a game available on these devices.
I feel like I'm gonna play this game and it's gonna take over my mind. I'll just be like
Become a
Starbound.
Starbound show. You're just gonna walk up to people. Hey guys, have you heard about Starbound?
Hey, guys.
This new action adventure game. It's amazing.
Starbound.
All right.
There's a
So now I'm gonna throw you for a curveball,
starman
TJ. Here we
waiting
go.
in the sky. What is it? No. No.
Guess who's back? Back again. TJ Fox is
What is the howling going on in the background?
That's TJ.
Oh.
I'm saying no.
TJ Foxstains apparently made a video of TJ fucking dust.
So TJ Fucks things. I heard you want to talk about the Cuban Revolution.
Yeah, well, I had a couple of things in mind. The Cuban Revolution was one of them. I don't know, whatever.
Don't pretend you're smart, TJ fucks things. Don't do that.
You know,
I am very smart.
TJ, you know what TJ Foxstains sounds like? He kind of sounds like Patton Oswalt a little bit.
Does he?
Yeah, he does a little bit. He just has the same manner of speaking. Not as funny, but like the same manner of speaking.
Hey, TJ Fucks things.
Yeah.
What's your fascination with the Cuban Revolution?
It's Well, my
Big fat
fascination with it
cigars.
is I think my fascination of it is well, I have a obviously I don't agree with like Fidel Castro's like views or like Che Guevara's views.
Viva Senor Castro.
Castro, my friend.
Yeah,
man.
but like I don't agree with their views, but I kind of I like when it comes to like revolution, like communist revolutions, like you know Lenin or like Che Guevara. I kind of already I always respect the cry for freedom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
TJ,
You know what?
ended the call.
Yeah, that was TJ. You know what? I think he was getting somewhere, honestly.
Maybe, but he was taking too long
Okay.
to get there.
So we're just gonna run down the list here. What the
TJ
fuck?
Fox things, you fuck nothing.
Now we're just calling random
Yes.
idiots.
We're going down the line here.
Now we're oh, this one's called Smoke Pan. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Smoke pan.
That's a reference to us.
Yay.
Smoke Pan every day.
What's going on?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's awesome. Have you been smoking any pan, my brother?
Absolutely. I
Fuck.
had that shit up earlier.
Fuck yeah.
We haven't smoked any pan, but we're smoking pan.
Smoking the pots
If you know what I mean.
We were vaporizing the pan. Hey. So what's
Yeah.
you have any questions or anything?
Oh yeah. You guys always talk about these crazy fucking cop stories.
Yeah.
So, and I know Galen has some batshit crazy stories about cops.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if you guys had some crazy stories like that, or just funny things, encounters with cops.
Cop stories, huh?
Yeah, apparently TJ has very bad luck with black cops.
That's true.
I think they want to have sex with him. I think that's the problem.
Something's going on.
Wow, our view count like collapsed or something.
Oh shit, we had sudden view collapse syndrome.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever.
They're all black cops.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the most interesting cop story that I have was I don't even know. I wouldn't even worry about it. Are we off the air now? I don't think so. It says live.
Okay.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, the show must go on. So the best.
Now we have no viewers. Oh god.
I think it's just malfunctioning.
Yeah, it has to be.
The cop stories the fucking worst cop story I could probably think of is I'm trying to think. Well, I guess I got in a crash once. I ran a yellow light. It was a red light.
Yeah, it was a red light.
But I said it was a
Don't-
yellow
don't
light at the
even lie.
time.
Oh, of course, to the police you said that.
I ran a red light and I hit someone's van, and after that there was this. When they hit my car spun out and hit like a tree in the median, and basically they asked me, did you hit this tree?
No.
And I was like, no. And the cop was like, looking at me very skeptically. And then another time, me and my brother snuck into this closed down convenience store. Well, me, my brother, and my friend at the time, Nate. We snuck into this closed down convenience store, and we basically looked around. Like they had like a few like items left in there, like some old candy bars and shit.
Which we promptly stole.
Yeah, which we stole pretty much immediately. And so eventually the cops pull up. We all get pulled out of the store and like sat down on the curb. Nate starts trying to give the cops this bullshit story about how we just went in there to take a piss. And the cops like, what'd you do? Go in there to hold it for him? and we're like, and I'm like, so I just say to the cop, like, listen, don't listen to my friend Nate. He's a fucking idiot. We were just in there because we were curious. We were just looking around. We didn't think it'd be a big deal. Really sorry. And there was this the black cop there was like, we need to take these little white boys in.
Take them all down to juvenile hall.
Take them to juvie.
They got a little lesson.
And the white cops were like, that won't be necessary. But, so yeah, pretty much every time I've had like a cop really have it in for me, it's been a black cop. But
wasn't there a black female cop?
Yeah, there was a black. That was I was speeding, and I was just like, I was trying to do the thing where you like kind of like smooth talk the cop a little and like kiss their ass and be like, I didn't think I was, and then but she's just like having none of it, just looking at me like totally stone faced, like
uh-huh.
like I gives no fuck.
I think
that boy's been smoking the.
No, that was a different cop. That was a white
I think
cop.
the Walmart story is the best one though.
Oh yeah, the one. Why don't you tell the Walmart story, Scotty?
Well, I had bought a backpack at Walmart, and it basically just would not stay like closed. It would just constantly just break, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this back. We didn't have a receipt though, but it's like, oh, we just bought this here. They'll find it, using the SKU code, and that'll be that. So we go in there, and they're like, oh, we want to return this. They're like, did you really buy this here? And we're like, well, yeah, we really did. Okay, we'll check again. You didn't buy this here. And then TJ just went off, and I'm like, we did fucking buy this here. You're going to give us a refund. And the woman's like, you're threatening me. Oh, my God, you're threatening me. And, like, TJ's 6'6", and she's probably about 5'3". So they say, you have to leave the store. You have to leave Walmart. You're banned from Walmart. Leave. And in this particular Walmart had a cop out in front of it. So as we're walking out of the store, they run down to tell the cop, like, is it the two boys causing this ruckus in here? And the cop gets out of his car and he approaches us like, what's going on here tonight? We're like, we're just trying to turn a backpack, and they're saying that, it's not valid, and this is not from Walmart, and we're just trying to scam them. And the cop is like, well, they're saying that they right. And like, what do you want to do with them? And it's like, well, you want to have them arrested or just, kick them out of the store? And the woman was like, the woman he'd been yelling at was like all smug, and she was like, just kick them out of the store. Then she just they walk back inside, and she just like, what could you even arrest us for, officer? You can't do shit. And starts mouthing off, and I'm like, TJ, shut the fuck up, let's go. And he keeps getting closer to the cop, and the cop looks at TJ and is like, you better take that ride, boy. And then eventually I grab TJ, I'm like, we're leaving, bye, we're sorry.
I got a cop to draw me a map once. Because I was in...
No, and remember you said afterwards about that story, like, I should have hit that cop. You even said it today, I should have hit him.
Yeah.
I could have taken him. I kicked his ass, and it would have been great.
Man, cops suck. Ben, you have any cop stories?
Not really. I've always managed to avoid.
You lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah, Ben, you're lucky.
I have like several more I could tell. None of them are really that interesting because I'm not like some hardened criminal that's always off like robbing stores or some shit.
Yeah.
But
Galen's great for cop stories, though.
Yeah, because Galen's like, I had a gun and I would have shot him down.
Galen's cop stories are great, but you have to take them with a grain of salt because Galen exaggerates, and that goes without saying.
Galen's like, I bit the head off the sheriff and I spit his fucking...
He'd probably say, I dispute that, that's not true, you're wrong, but I just know for a fact that...
I spit his...
I'm not saying Galen's a liar, but I just think he exaggerates.
I spit his head back up his butthole.
He gets carried away.
Killed him good.
Yeah. Just like sitting in the front seat of his car, I served my nickel, you come and take me. Fucking, it's always great.
Yeah. Hey, what else we got? Sorry, we're going Smoke Pan. We're gonna see who else
cool.
who else has anything to say. Smoke Pan every day.
Hey.
Good name.
Smoke Pan.
Yeah, it looks like everyone that got well, not everyone.
Not everyone's come back, but most of our audience has come back. I wonder if there was some kind of weird disconnection issue.
Yeah, that was a malfunction of some sort.
All right, so let's we're gonna call maybe one or two more people.
Let's call a couple more people then.
Call it a show. We'll let Ben pick somebody.
We'll see if this person answers.
I know that person.
Do you?
Yep.
Who's it calling?
Doom, 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 doom.
Well, then they may not answer if you know them.
They're sitting there like, fuck this shit. I'm not talking to fucking TJ.
Hi.
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 Greetings and salutations.
Greetings.
Salutations and greetings.
Hey there, TJ.
Hey, how you doing?
TJ, how you doing, TJ? What are you wearing? what are you wearing, TJ? that's how that came across.
Yeah.
Guess you're what? like Ben and Scotty. Yeah, assholes. Hey, TJ. You pretty ass.
What's on your mind, Melissa?
Not much Africa, because I have to study for an exam, but
Are you?
Yeah.
You having an exam on Africa?
Basically, well, African history, but...
What color are the people in Africa?
Purple.
Some brown, some black.
They're mostly black.
No,
except in Egypt.
Yeah,
no,
are
it's
we
not
live right now?
Yeah. It's
yes.
Okay.
So no, it's not just Egypt. It's like Algeria and Morocco, and Libya.
Nah.
No.
Egypt.
TJ, what we call ignorant.
Ignorance.
TJ wants to live.
Motherfuckers.
TJ wants to live in the Sahara Desert. That's where he wants to live.
I mentally I do live in the Sahara Desert.
I just want to live somewhere warmer than.
Hey,
here.
Scotty.
Mhm.
Remember that time that I had that that butt as my screen cap on Skype?
Yes, I do.
And you were like, "That's unprofessional. Change that." That was she painted. She painted
yeah,
that butt.
was my
that was her
beautiful
art.
ass that I painted.
You painted a butt.
Yeah.
Why did you paint a butt?
Well, she painted an entire naked woman, and I just took the butt and made it
if
mine.
you had the entire naked woman, you could be like, "This is art, Scotty. Do you not understand art?"
So
I made that argument to begin with, but you didn't accept it.
I did not accept it. Well, you have business contacts and like
Let me
squarish people.
find it.
We were trying to get as many female people on the show tonight, and we hit a record tonight.
Oh,
Two.
Nice job.
Because our audience is like 92% male, so
Really?
yeah.
And most of them between the ages of 3 and 5.
Okay.
Sorry.
Or sorry, you've
Who
been
would you-
you've been dragged to the lowest common denominator.
Here, I'll link it in the chatty thing. I don't know.
Ben wants to see the ass.
The ass of doom.
The ass of doom.
Dumas.
Alexander Dumas.
So was this like
Dumas.
was this a model that you painted, or did you just paint it out of your head?
I had a picture.
I see. So you just
TJ wants a model for me. He can. He's welcome.
I'm much more muscular in physique than the guy depicted.
You'd be surprised. You'd like life drawing models. There are fat people that do it. There really
Oh yeah, for sure. I
And
have
old
a
people.
set of photos. Like,
Well,
I-
it would
I
be intellectually dishonest for there not to be.
It's true.
All right, Melissa,
All right.
we're gonna move on. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
No problem.
Wow, she was very giggly.
She's like, oh, TJ, so big and strong.
Yeah, I know.
TJ,
Wow.
TJ, don't even deny it. Don't even bother denying it.
I ain't even said nothing.
Yeah, the
I
look
know.
on your face. Okay, audience, if you could see the look on TJ's face, you would know we're right. Let's put it that way.
All right, let's call this person.
Let's call the cat person. Haven't we talked to this person?
Did we?
I think we did at one
Okay,
point.
fuck that.
Not today, but like
Oh well.
What do we say to death? Not today.
not today.
How about we do?
We're doing one more.
One more. Who will be the lucky one person? Shit.
We need one person, Ben.
One person.
One person to
No
rule them all.
If you fail, we all die.
Is it TJ drinks soda?
No.
No.
No, it is not.
It's not.
TJ
No.
Oh,
banned.
TJ drinks soda. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link.
And by the way, yes, we did ban. The fat kid you used to beat up in school.
He was banned.
He was banned
He was
for
spamming.
gratuitous A's.
How about Kevin McFaggot?
No, you're really gonna do that?
It's the last call, so you might as well.
If you saw what he asked.
Hey, TJ.
Hello, Kevin McFaggot.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Scotty, I have questions for you.
All right, ask me the question.
10, 9.
My question is, what is your sexual orientation?
Okay,
I like-
that is a stupid
I
ass
like-
question.
I
Goodbye.
like everyone and everything.
All
I even
right.
like rocks.
There has to be another
My-
call.
My favorite is balloons, though.
That was it.
Scotty, what is your sexual orientation?
But balloons.
Is it up or down?
Balloons.
Balloons.
I imagine myself in a Disney movie surrounded by balloons.
I love balloons.
and then when I'm dancing with the balloons,
I love to rub the balloons on my
Yo,
genitals.
yo, what's up?
Hey.
Boy, hey, smoke weed every day.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So, how
Ask.
you guys doing today?
Doesn't matter.
We're doing great. How are you?
We're on cocaine, so we're good.
I'm just chilling up in my bedroom,
All right.
trying to keep warm.
Uh-huh.
So I'm from the armpit of Wisconsin. So,
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So
Wisconsin.
it's
Yeah,
negative. It's negative
Wisconsin
1
here.
million there.
alright. So my question for you guys today is, tonight is if you could be Heisenberg,
Uh-huh.
and you made like, I don't know, depending on a drug of choice, who would be your Jesse Pinkman?
I would want to be Heisenberg because he dies at the end. So
Well, let's just say you don't die at the end. If you could be a
he
successful...
still went through lung cancer, so that still really sucks. And he destroyed his family. I don't think I really want to be him. But
Yeah.
if you had to pick a Jesse Pinkman, like I just don't know if anyone would want to imitate his life. He's not someone you really look up to. I mean,
It's kind of funny because I lived in Albuquerque for 7 years, and the Jesse Pinkman character is pretty spot on. That is like your typical white dude in Albuquerque.
oh really? They're kind of ghetto and
yeah.
shady.
Yeah, yeah, and there's always something going on. You know what I mean?
Does anyone actually want to be Walter White Heisenberg? Does anyone actually want that?
I'd do it. It'd be pretty cool.
Who would your Jesse Pinkman be then?
I don't know. I'd have to just like hold auditions, I guess.
More importantly, who would your Gus be?
Well, there would be no Gus because I'd be more brutal than Gus ever was.
It's pretty cool. Like when I lived in Albuquerque,
I'd kill people I didn't even have to kill. I'd just be like, "What'd they do? They said your method isn't that great. Kill them. Kill them all."
When I lived in Albuquerque, there was a guy who played the Hispanic cop on Breaking Bad. He was Hank's partner, his Hispanic partner, and he hosted a late night talk show that you could only get in New Mexico. It was called the After Party, and he would always have all the actors from Breaking Bad on, and you could go into the live studio audience and ask them questions.
That is awesome.
Yeah, they were very, very involved in the community and everything. They'd have like a charity softball game every year and everything. So.
And didn't you see a bunch of the locations where they shot at?
Oh yeah,
Just there?
they actually shot in my doctor's office. My doctor was upstairs in the building, and down below there was a cafe where they shot a lot of scenes in the last season. So yeah, they shot all around Albuquerque. The cool thing about Breaking Bad for me was Breaking Bad was more realistic to me as a show because I lived in all the locations where they filmed, and I would see those locations on a regular basis.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it brings a whole new reality to
Yeah, a
everything.
different perspective on a TV show, really.
Yeah. And it's huge there.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
No,
But,
it's not. You're wrong.
No, you lie. You lie.
It's not understandable
also-
at all. What's up?
I'm also on Raw Story, and I caught this. I don't know if is it okay if I recommend stories for the next Drunken Peasants episode?
Yeah,
or...
sure. Go ahead.
Well, on Raw Story, you have your choice. There's one with a Philadelphia teen got his testicle ruptured during a police
But during the
pat-down.
police pat down. I'm kind of skeptical of that one simply because I've seen porn where guys get like literally like just get kicked in the balls and like weights like attached to them and all kinds of shit. So I mean, like, what kind of crazy fucking pat? Like, how hard did this cop really have to fucking tug on this dude's testicles to supposedly just rupture and
Have
destroy
you
it?
heard of nut tapping? Have you heard of that, TJ?
Yeah.
There's actually these high school kids and middle school kids that actually do this. They do actually rupture the other kids' testicles when they hit them, but they hit them really hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, the cop had to hit him or grab him really hard. So I mean,
I just don't get it because, like, I don't know.
this is why you need to record what the police do in their activities when they encounter people, because I mean, obviously this guy assaulted this kid. I mean, this didn't just happen magically.
Yeah, it did.
He didn't have magical.
He waved his magic.
testicle
He
eruption.
made the cop waved his magic wand over the kid's testicles, and they exploded. How would? Why did you? Why did you? What's up?
What were you gonna say?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, also, I would also like you to check out the, I don't know if you heard about the chick from Illinois, that Susan Atanas.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but
Doesn't matter.
she did a whole bunch of anti-LGBT comments. And what is her position to say anything against the LGBT community when she herself looks like a full-on bull dyke?
That's awesome.
Maybe she's in denial. That's why she has to rally against it so fervently.
Well, I'm pretty spent.
We're spent.
Spent.
All right, thank you for your questions.
Yeah, thank you.
The show is over.
Yes.
The show is over, unless you guys
We
want to
will-
ship us cocaine.
Thanks for everyone who stayed on most of the night, and we will be back tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time.
For more zany antics.
Zany! Woo!
I just want to thank TJ for being a pussy. I just want to thank him for that.
Fuck you.
I got the last video of the show.
No.
You, Scotty.
No.
No.
Yes.
TJ had sex with George Lucas. That's all.
You guys can finish this now if you want to.